All right, y'all. What's up? How we doing? Ahem. I know Smosh raised over $100,000. Amazing. We love to see it. Okay, let's get all set up here. Today was a good day, productive. Alrighty. I meant to have more of a productive day, but Will and I went outside. We went out to run errands, and he was caught up doing something, and I was waiting for him. So I ended up stopping at a deli while I was waiting for him, and got some soup, even though it's hot out. And I was basically just squatting on the sidewalk eating this soup because Los Angeles has gotten rid of pretty much all benches and public seating because, oh God, homeless people. Okay, here we go. Anyway, hi, hello. Update on my eye. It's now red and really dry. It's still swollen. And now it's dry and like cracking. I don't know. I just got this sweater today. What do we think? I'm already sweating, but it's cute. It's got little mushrooms on it. It's a little mushroom sweater. Might be time to replace the eye and get a new one. I think so. I think it's time. Dracula, thank you for the 5. Panglo, thank you for the 11 months. Talia X 13X, thank you for the 3 months. And Adakemi, thank you for the 11 months. Gary, thank you for the 21 months. 21 months. That's a long time. You can have one of mine. I don't need to. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. You should look up using raspberry tea bags. I use them when I have eye infections and they help. Okay, this is a stupid question. Hogan, thank you for the gifted. Yeah, the eye is dry, but also still swollen. Dumb question. Do you put the tea bag in hot water first? Or do you just put a raspberry tea bag on your eye? I'll just put a piping hot tea bag on my eye. Chat's just saying yes. Thank you so much for the input, chat. Yes, hot, not burning tea bag on eye. It's like a warm compress kind of thing. Yeah, okay. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, I will say I think it's a little bit better than it has been the last couple days, which is good. I think there's slight improvement, even though it's very dry now. I think that means it's healing. Perchance. You look good with the glasses. Well, thank you. How am I going to get out of going to parties now? Oh, are you kidding me? I'll just bring back the IBS. IBS has been the best excuse for everything in my life. I told you guys when I was, oh yeah, I also got my nails done. When I was in Chicago in the early days after I graduated college, and I was working in politics, but also started auditioning for film and television. And it was crazy because you'd get an audition and it'd be like, hey, you have an audition. You have to be there at 2:00. And I'd be at work, and I worked from 8 to 6. You can't just leave, you know? Here I am. I'm like the lowest on the totem pole. I was getting paid absolutely nothing. So I would have to, I would have to try and sneak out of the office, take a cab, like uptown, downtown, and do my audition, which always just had such an element of stress to it. Nothing like trying to do an audition while you're extremely stressed out and just pretend you're not stressed. Anyway, one time I got caught. I had this client that we were supposed to do a fundraising session with. We're like, you make calls. We have our list. It's a mix of cold calls, warm calls, and then ones to like consistent donors. And my one of the other employees of this firm was like, hey, where are you? I was like, fuck! And I had just left for this audition, and I was stuck in a cab in traffic, absolutely panicking. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so I told her, I said, hey, this is really embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. Please don't tell anyone. But I'm currently on the 3rd floor bathroom with severe IBS. I ate something at lunch today. It's just not been sitting right. And so I think I'm going to be stuck here for a while. Because what I had learned, because I went through everything, like, ooh, I have a headache. Ooh, somebody's not feeling so great, or whatever. Every single excuse in the book. And I realized that IBS is the one thing that nobody wants to question you on that. They don't want to push. They're just like, oh, okay, say less. Say less. Oh God, I don't want any details. Yeah, nobody wants the details. Anyway, so IBS became a thing that throughout my life, whenever I've just had to make up an excuse for anything, I'm like, oh God, yeah, I'm on the toilet. I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm settling down here. I'm settling down here. It'll be a minute. You are loved. Thank you, noisy puppies. Go poop, girl. Oh, man. That seems like so long ago. Those days. Those post-college, just the world seemed so big and so fresh. And I just had no idea what the hell I was doing. Man. I was really good at tricking myself into thinking that I knew what I was doing when I had no idea what I was doing. Is the IBS elbow handshake a thing or a meme? I don't know what that is. Imagine if she asked you to prove it and now you have to improv in front of a taxi driver. Oh, God. Oh, it's coming. You made an edit for me and Peach but couldn't add it to the Discord? Hold on. Poor Kay. Can you tag me on Twitter, or is it something that you specifically want to put in the Discord? My best friend recently told our group message that a coworker unprompted told the whole team she had to go home and replace her pants because she sharted. Okay. God. See, that feels real. Okay, all my IBS excuses were always bullshit. That feels like that woman sharded and kept bringing it up. It's like, no, we're good. We don't need deets. We do not need details. Thank you so much. I'll add it to Twitter and tag you in a bit. Perfect. I will pull it up on the stream. Poop gets mentioned every stream. You know what? I know. I have unintentionally, you know what it is? It's Nandre. I think I've spent too much time with Nandre. He's shown me too many things on the internet that has further contributed to destroying me and any maturity, any filters that I had left. It is the Nandre brain rot. Yeah. So I'm going to blame him on how this stream has devolved into a poop stream, which no, it's not a poop stream. No. Let's be very clear about that. Let's be totally clear. You guys want to know something embarrassing? So yesterday we did a Creators for Palestine fundraising stream, Slay, ! Donate. We're still keeping it going. We are at, let me check the Tiltify. 592,000, but Smosh raised 103,000 today on their stream. So I believe that's going to put us at close to 700,000. I think they did a separate thing and then they're going to, or like they're transferring it over to the Tiltify, it seems. I'm assuming because yesterday the Tiltify, last night when we ended our fundraiser, it was at like 570 something. And they raised over 103,000 today. And right now the Tiltify says 592,000. So I think that's all going to go in, which is amazing. Anyway, so when I had gone to send Cutie and Sam, we have a Discord group. I sent them the links to MAP, UNRWA, and Heal Palestine, where I was like, oh, here's the other fundraisers we're doing. I just realized, one, neither of them ever said to me, hey, we didn't get those links, which they should have said because I put them in the Creators for Palestine general chat. So I discovered it last night when I was checking that group chat for any updates. And I was like, Caroline Kwan just posted all three of these links. And I went, God damn it. So I said, oh, sorry. I had meant to put these in another group chat and somehow I put them in here. And someone goes, yeah, I was looking through and I was kind of wondering why you just randomly put those unprompted in the general chat when nobody had asked for them. I'm like, well, if you need them, they're here. Yeah, it's like Sam telling her email story. That was mine, but I didn't even realize it until after I finished streaming, and I went, why didn't either of them say, hey, by the way, we don't see the links? Because I said, hey, I'm putting these in our group chat so you guys can, link them in your streams, or you can put them in your streams. Well, never a day goes by without a classic Caroline and STEM moment. I was happy to see them supporting Palestine. I was surprised by Smosh. Yeah, from what I've seen, they're super dope. I'm a fan now. Asian Skills, thank you for the 6 months. Your taste in music is unmatched. I honestly can't even take credit for it. I've told you guys, I just pull up playlists on Spotify. This is Daily Mix 5. That's what's playing right now. It's good. These are really good playlists, but I feel as if I can't take credit for it. But thank you. Smosh is very theater kid like me. Well, I'm excited for when we do our big creator stream together where everyone I think it I actually don't know how it's going to work, if it's going to be an in-person thing. They just did a small one today, but at 750,000 we're supposed to be planning a live stream with as many creators as we can have, or as we can get. So I don't know if it's going to be mainly like LA creators or what's going on with that. It's Vidal. Thank you for the 7 months. I swear to God, my Prime wasn't working for like 3 months. It's fucking Jeff Bezos, okay? He's too busy hanging out on $250 million yachts. He needs to fix these Prime Twitch subs. What's he doing? When do I get back from EDC? Okay, yes. So I'm leaving tonight for EDC. This is not going to be a super long stream. Because I think Will and I are trying to get out of here by 11 because we have to drop Farley off. Farley is staying with Uncle Nandre for the weekend. And then we have to drive to Vegas. This is going to be fun. I haven't driven to Vegas in so long. So that'll be great. But yeah, we're trying to leave by 11. Is it a long drive? It's probably going to take us... there's not going to be traffic, so I would say 4-ish hours. It's just, you know, a lot of it is very boring. So I also have decided, as I've gotten older, I don't like being in the car. I don't like road trips. I don't like road trips where you're just on the same boring highway for 4 hours. I mean, I don't think anybody really likes that, but... So I kind of try to avoid being in cars for extended periods of time. Why not fly? Well, we were looking at flights to Vegas, and the last one was at 8:00 tonight. And so we decided, let's just drive so we can both get one more stream in before we go to EDC. And then, and so that way we have flexibility and we don't have to leave, you know, we don't have to get to the airport. We don't have to leave for the airport at like 6 or whatever. Slippery Sam Butters, thank you for the 2 months. And Surfia, thank you for the 2 months. Anyway, yeah, we are... Last year, what happened was... See, we made... Mistakes were made last year, okay? Mistakes were made last year. Last year was the first time that I went to EDC. And mistakes were made. And one of the mistakes that was made was... We both streamed really long and really late on Thursday night, and then slept for like 3-4 hours, got to the airport early on Friday morning, got to Vegas thinking that we would have time to rest, but by the time we ended up getting our passes, getting settled in the hotel, we really didn't have much time. So we came into day one of EDC, which EDC is a marathon. If you've never been, I mean, just like all music festivals are, but it doesn't start till 7. It goes from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. It is a fucking marathon. And we get to day one of EDC and we're both exhausted. We had both been working really, really hard leading up to EDC as like we're just going to work our asses off and then take a couple days off here. So mistakes were made, and then one mistake that was made was we did not properly take the things that we took that first day. And it was like we were both 20 years old again, just willy-nilly, not thinking about amounts and stuff like that. So we both had a bad time for quite a while, and then I was able to come through and I was okay. Will did no. first day, first night was just, it was fucked for him totally. And bad times were had. Yeah, at one point, maybe I told this story when I got back last year, but at one point we were both sitting on the ground just like, oh God. And he said, I think we're too old. And I almost slapped him. And I was like, no, we're just exhausted. And we were stupid and didn't measure things out. Okay? We're not too old. Shut the fuck up. I'm looking at some 80-year-old who's wearing like a crop top in little shorts. Look at him over there. He's dancing his face off. He's 80. Marsh is already in Vegas gambling. I know. Billy Rave Brains is already at gambling at Resorts World. It was the same thing last year when we got there. I think Marsh was like, I actually think last year he was up. So by the time we got there, he was up by like $5,000 and was just so juiced. By the time we rolled in, just broken and exhausted. Do you have rave paint? I got some sparkle stuff. Traveling to a festival day of is such a big mistake. It's like fighting for your life trying to have energy to get going. Yes, as I said, big mistakes were made. And so we are trying to remedy the mistakes that were made last year by not doing that again. So we are leaving late tonight, but at least we'll get to our hotel and then be able to sleep in and then, not be rushed. We can get our passes, yada, yada. And then enjoy EDC, not come into EDC just exhausted out of our minds. Y'all have to be seeing the world-renowned DJ James Kennedy. Put your hands together for DJ James Kennedy. That's all. That's who I'm going to see. DJ James Kennedy. Who's headlining EDC? There's not, let me see. There are so many artists that play at EDC. It's not really a headliner kind of thing. Like, there are definitely artists that play on the big stages, but it's not like at Coachella the way that they show you the lineup where they advertise the headliners. I don't even know. Do they have the set times? Let me see. Like, this is what the EDC lineup looks like, unless there's an updated one. It's just hella artists. Yeah, it's a bunch of stages. Performances go back to back. So it's very different from the way Coachella works with headliners. I have headphones in. Wait, was that a joke, or is DJ James Kennedy actually performing at EDC? Who the fuck is that? Don't even worry about it. DJ James Kennedy. How the fuck do you read this shit? It's really hard. Yeah, if anybody has any faves on this list, throw them out. Oh, let me move this down. Let me know. If you can even read this. Let's just start off with, if anybody can read this list. It is kind of like trying to read chat. Here, let me move this over like that. Okay, let's see. James, I don't see him. James Kennedy. I'm looking. You see him? Which day? No way. I'm very excited to see Sophie Tucker. I found this. Oh, maybe he's just playing Live Nightclub Friday, May 17th, 10 to 4. Okay, so I don't think he's actually playing at EDC? Question mark. Like he's just performing at a nightclub one night. Yeah, this guy's the biggest douche in the world. For those who missed my post Coachella stream. Deadmau, Dom Dolla, LSD, Ellis Dream are must see. The thing that's tough with EDC too is if you only want to go 2 days, it's hard to decide which days to go. Like I don't know if I'm going to go all 3 because last year I was down and out for about 4 days after. And I do not want to go through that again. Now, I did get sick after Coachella because of all the dust and shit. I just don't do well with all that. So maybe I'm good. Is it fun if you go in blind without knowing a lot of the artists? I'm telling you right now, the group that we're going to be with, where I'm just mostly going to go to whatever they want to go to, I won't know most of the artists, I'm sure. Or at least if I do, I won't know most of the songs. And that was last year. I still had a amazing time. Yeah, EDC is a really fun festival for that. Fortet is a must. What day are they? Let's see. Oh, they're on Saturday. I'm gonna see Dylan Francis. Yep. Let me just quickly run through this and see the names that I definitely. Okay, so Friday, Armin van Buuren. David Guetta. John Summit. Nightmare. Peggy Gao. Steve Aoki. And I think those are the main ones that I recognize. No Grime set. Such a bummer, I know. Click lineup and then set times. There's just so many though. My God. I'm just kind of going roughly through the list. Holy moly. Holy moly. Eric Preds is on Friday? Did I miss that? Let me see. Did I miss that? Let me oh yeah, I missed. Oh yeah, definitely seeing Eric Preds. See Kevin Saunderson and DJ Mix if you can. Legends of house music. Aside from the pool behind, does your body feel ready for 3 days of rave? No. No, it does not. My mind is ready. Here's what I'll say. My mind is ready. My body does not feel ready. I'm only going if James Kennedy will be there. Okay, Saturday, Alice in Wonderland. I love her. Dylan Francis. I just saw DJ Snake at Coachella. Dom Dolla. Actually, I think Will hates. Hey, Will. Will. I think he hates Dom Dolla. I'm trying to remember the one that he was like, oh, fuck him. Fortet, someone recommended. Oh, I thought that said Mitski for a second. I was like, what? Peggy Gao's also playing on Saturday. Soren, Tiesto, Zed's on Saturday night. Oh, Tiesto is who he hates. Yeah. Oh my God. I love how you guys know. XTU Awesomer, thank you for the 5 months. I'm like, who's the one that Will really hates? Fortet is a chill jazz lounge kind of vibe with some of his albums. Maybe he'll play some of those tracks to vibe to. I'm gonna try to check him out. Posted and tagged you on Twitter. I apologize in advance. Why are you apologizing in advance? Okay, I'll take a look in a second. Will says that he really wants to check out the installations this year. He said he wants to take it chill and check out the installations. I'm like, okay, really, you want to take it chill? Because you said that you were going to take it chill at Coachella. And the first day you were there, I was not there. You were not taking it chill. He literally said to me before he went to Coachella, he goes, yeah, I think I'm just going to stay sober the whole way, like not really do anything. And then they were at a party at an airplane hangar until 5 a.m. So yeah, he said with EDC, he goes, I'm just really gonna be chill. I think I want to go see the art installations. I was like, okay. And then Sunday, we've got Alesso, Dead Mouse, Diplo, Excision. I think I've listened to them before. Cascade was really great last year. Oh God. Martin Garrix. I'm obviously naming names that are very big. I'm not a knowledgeable EDM head. Sophie Tucker. I do love Sophie Tucker. And the most important headliner of all, you. Excision is a racist? Oh. Wait, Jesus. I just said Excision because I recognized the name. Hey. Hello. Looking through the EDC lineup right now. It's just told Excision is shitty dubstep and is a racist.
Who?
Excision?
I don't know.
You don't know who that is? Why would I say I know who that is then?
I don't know.
Wait, why? You hate Tiesto, right?
No.
You said you
hate Tiesto?
Remember you were like, oh.
No.
Was it Dom Dalla?
No.
Okay, it was no, because people in chat knew that Tiesto's the one that you don't.
Tiesto?
Yeah, I swear you were like, ugh. Are you worried that Tiesto's in the chat right now, so you don't want to say anything?
Remember, Tiesto was one of the ones that I was like, oh, you'll know their music. I'm going through these lineups and seeing who I really don't like. There's no one that No.
I know that you reacted strongly to Tiesto.
Diplo is the one that I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
You mixed up the names. Diplo's the one I don't like.
Yeah, you don't like Diplo.
No.
Okay, it's Diplo. Dragon Army, thank you for the 5. Henza, thank you for the 11 months. Now we know. It's Diplo. Confirmed. Okay. Anyway, that is that's what we're doing this weekend. which is very exciting. Okay, I've been tagged on Twitter. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Unhinged car talk. Let's watch this. Unhinged car talk. Caroline Kwan and Peach Jars. Black Kasuko, thank you for this 21 months.
Did I say that right?
Cutie's mom is yes, I know Cutie's mother's.
Okay, guys, can we?
You know what? We're gonna switch. I was like, wait, when did we go in the car? I genuinely was so confused. I didn't. Also, we both have the same hands going on.
Conversation.
We're gonna.
I personally love the Rose toy out of all Amazon things.
What's the Rose toy? I don't even know what this is, but let's talk about it. The Rose toy?
Girly Pop's suppressed. Girly Pop's in pain.
The Rose toy on Amazon.
Did I say that right?
Cutie's mom is yes, I know Cutie's mother's.
Fun. Okay, guys, can we?
You know what? We're gonna switch. We're gonna.
I personally love.
The car green screen is killing me. Are they going backwards?
The Rose toy out of all Amazon.
We're driving backwards. What's the Rose toy? I don't even know what this is, but let's talk about it. I did not know that the Rose toy on Amazon was a well-known vibrator. I didn't know. Look at her face. The Rose toy? You were on 50 milligrams of edibles when this happened? My God.
Girly Pop's suppressed. Girly Pop's in pain.
The Rose toy on Amazon. Oh, it's so funny. I love this. Thank you for that edit. Oh my God. My eyes have teared up, but I can't touch it because my eyes still fucked up. Suppressed. Classic. Oh man. God, and that Curb Your Enthusiasm remix goes so hard. I found it today and was like, why did I never post this? Oh man, that's so good. Have I heard of the Womanizer? Yes, I know the Womanizer. Wait, did I ever tell you guys when I went to a Galentine's Day party? I was invited to a Galentine's Day party. I was like, oh, that seems cute. I'll go to that. And I go to this Galentine's Day party, and we're having our little snacks, hanging out with these girlies. And then the girl who was hosting the Galentine's Day party goes, anonymous, thank you for the gifted, goes, okay, guys, I can't remember this woman's name. Laurel is here to do the presentation. I was like, a presentation? I thought we were just having some charcuterie and drinking some wine and hanging out. And this woman Laurel comes and she sets up like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. There's lingerie, there's dildos, there's crystals that I think go in your vagina. There's so much stuff that she lays out. I was like, what? And for a second I was like, are we having an orgy? Is this Galentine's Day about to get sexy? Like, wow, okay. I thought thought it was just a casual hang. I gotta go to work about 30 minutes. Anyway, so Laurel then gives us this whole presentation about loving yourself as a female. And like teaching, and keep in mind, this is a room filled with 30-something-year-old women, like late 20s to 30-something-year-old women. And so she was showing us like various dildos and and the crystals were for your vagina, by the way. I was correct. And it was really interesting because I had never been to something like that. And I was like, wow. And anyway, I said, okay, I'll buy some stuff, because that was the whole thing, is that she comes and does this really female love presentation, and then you're supposed to buy things. So I was like, all right, okay, she seems lovely. I want to support her woman business. And so I was like, great, I'll take this and this. It was $400. I was like, what? I thought this was just kind of a simple little thing. $400. I was like, Jesus Christ. Well, all the girls were buying stuff. So I did kind of remove one thing. I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need this one thing. $400. Female love's expensive. Yeah, for some crystals for your coochie. Yeah, it is Tupperware party for sex. It actually is. The Mary Kay makeup parties have taken a turn. Yeah. So I guess this is a thing, though, where women who own sex shops come to female Galentine's Day type get-togethers, and they talk about like orgasms and sex and show you vagina crystals for your coochie, and then you buy stuff. It's called a passion party. My wife has gone to one before. The funniest thing, though, is that I didn't know that was happening at the party. It wasn't a big deal. Look, I'm no prude. I just was like, wait, what's going on? I thought we were just having a little cheese and wine. All right. Yeah, and then I spent more money, because then I had to go work at the club, and I spent like 3 times on her items the amount of what I made that night at work. Yeah, I was a little caught off guard, but you know, do your thing, girl. Sell those crystals. Woman-owned business. Let's go. I support ladies. M. Dow, thank you for the 5 months. All right. Let's take a look at some things. Let me show you guys a couple of amazing videos that I found, that I bookmarked to show you guys. Starting with this. How celebrities stub their toe. She's so good. She's so good. Her Halsey's insane. I've watched this so many times, you guys. I found this last night, and I have put this on repeat. I also love that her fucking knees probably killing her. but it's an incredible video. The Halsey one, I mean, all of them are so good, but that Halsey impression is so spot on. It's so good. I am always so fascinated by people who have such vocal talent that they can do impressions like this. It's not just one impression. Okay, look, everybody who can sing does Britney Spears, okay? Or Christina Aguilera, or like there's commonly done ones, but there are ones in here that I haven't seen people do when they do a roundup of these impressions. So good. The Billie Eilish one. Who's this? Is that Tate McRae?
Ooh.
This one?
Oh.
The whistle tone. The Mariah Carey whistle tone is so good. You want to run it again? I'll run it again. Going up.
Oh my, I stubbed my toe.
Oh my God, she's so good. This is Rainia Kondo. Do you know what I've noticed is no one ever does Taylor Swift or Beyonce, or at least not that I've seen. Has anybody found a good Taylor Swift or this is not what is playing? This one is her best.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Point of view you find they can't do Beyonce and they don't want to do Taylor.
Where am I? Oh! What are you doing here?
Holy shit.
There's literally no one in here.
She's so good.
You never answered, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Get away! Get away!
Hey, now that you're not running around, what are you doing here? Can you answer me? Can you just answer a simple question?
Oh my God.
What are you doing here?
Just keep breathing, 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 breathing.
Oh my God, she's by the plants.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
How does she do this? She's so good. Jade Nova does Beyonce well. I swear I saw a video one time. I think it was a woman in a gym. And I think she did a Beyonce impression. And I can't remember what this is. And or maybe she was just really good at singing. But I think it was a woman in a gym. Like no one else was in the gym. And she sang Drunk in Love. Have you seen Jennifer Coolidge's commencement speech? Wait, Jennifer Coolidge gave a commencement speech? Okay, that's actually would be the highlight of your life. This is a fever dream.
Airwaves, who's my landlord.
Wait, Jennifer Coolidge at the commencement speaker in her speech making absolutely zero sense. The storm and the collective poncho put on, plus the police and the protesters fighting outside the stadium, making it so the audience could barely hear them. The chancellor scolding students during his speech and getting booed. Class of 2020 can have a normal nothing.
Airwave, and
Hold on, let me start this video.
he showed up with his dog. I used to pay my rent to a guy named Airwave. He was my landlord.
What?
Airwave, and he showed up with his dog Snowball, and I would have to give my rent check to the dog.
This is the most Jennifer Coolidge commencement speech.
Guy on the beach. You had to do an action which made it believable in the scenes. So
Oh my God, what is
the
she
only thing I
saying?
could think of was to stir a bowl. And it ended up like I started stirring it on the golf course.
Small kitty, thank you for the 5 months.
And stirring that bowl.
Bees Radio, thank you for the gifted. Oh my God. Wait, what school was this at? WashU got Jennifer Coolidge. WashU got Jennifer fucking Coolidge. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's iconic. This is someone who, the tweet that was like, hey kids, just so you know, Jerry Seinfeld at your commencement is going to be the highlight of your life. Okay, put Jennifer Coolidge in there and I'll consider it. I'll consider that statement having some truth to it. Coolidge. God, what a classic Jennifer Coolidge speech. Okay, I got to show you guys this too. This woman, I don't know who she is, but I love her.
So before you start gossiping about me, love, scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you have got bigger fish to fry. So before you start...
I don't know who she's talking to, but I love her.
Start gossiping about me, love, scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you have got bigger fish to fry. So before...
This is what I'm going to say to my haters from now on. I'm not even kidding you. I saw this. I've been saying this for a week since I watched it. I saw this last night. I found some good videos last night. I saw this last night. I was like, oh, I am saying this from now on.
Before you start gossiping about me, love,
scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you've got bigger fish to fry. And if you don't know this video, people will just be like, what? Yeah, I'm going to say this to Cutie and Sam next time. When they start talking shit, I'm going to say, hey, before you start gossiping about me, scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you've got bigger fish to fry. Scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you've got bigger fish to fry. Please link it. You got it. And she didn't stutter. Here you go. Scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you've got bigger fish to fry. Oh, yeah. I saw this. Hold on. I need to show you guys one more video. Is this the one I want to show? Wait. Celebrities stub their toe. Oh my gosh. Okay. Does anybody know what this is from? She's trying to make up for not liking our fave vines. Yeah, look, guys, I'm finding TikToks for you all.
What's going on?
I'm taking her home.
She's not going anywhere with you.
What'd you say?
Clint, stop!
You mind putting down my kid?
Wait, this is young Sheldon? Shut the fuck up. Oh my God, this is from young Sheldon? What?
He's just playing around.
It's my mom's boyfriend, Clint.
Hello, Clint. What can we do for you?
I'm here to pick up Veronica. Come on.
You want to go with this man?
No, sir.
You heard her.
Thanks for stopping by. You really want to mess with me? Sure. Why not?
What's going on out there?
You might want to call the police.
Why?
There's a bump sleeping on our front porch.
This edit is so fucking funny. I cannot believe this is from young Sheldon. I thought young Sheldon was like, I thought obviously this is edited, but I thought it was like Breaking Bad, where it's just all dumb light shit. What is this scene? What is this scene? I thought this was from some random, like, you know that wolf show we watched? I thought it was one of these. That it's like some weird... Did I say Breaking Bad? Oh my God. The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory. You guys know what I meant. I thought it was the Big Bang Theory. This is closer to Breaking Bad, though, than it is to the Big Bang Theory. They just killed young Sheldon. I have to watch this one more time. Can you link this? Yeah, hold on. We did not know what you meant. Big Bang Theory. I gotta watch young Sheldon now.
What's going on?
Who's this giga-dad?
She's not going anywhere with you.
What'd you say?
Clint, stop!
You mind putting down my kid? He's just playing around.
It's my mom's boyfriend, Clint.
Hello, Clint. What can we do for you? I'm here to pick up Veronica. Come on. You want to go with this man?
No, sir.
You heard her.
Let's go.
Thanks for stopping by. You really want to mess with me? Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
What's going on out there?
You might want to call the police.
Why?
There's a bump sleeping on our front porch.
Wait, Lore, the blonde woman, is the boy's teacher he knocks up and has a baby with? What? This isn't real. It's the last shot of Breaking Bad. Okay. I was like, what happens in young Sheldon? I was genuinely like, damn, I gotta watch this show. Breaking Bazinga. Oh my God. Because I saw that Ashley sent this, that young Sheldon ended for a second. I was like, wait. Oh my God. I didn't know they got down like that. Holy shit. Young Sheldon has come to an end. R.I.P. Oh my God. This show ran for 7 years. 7 fucking years. Oh my God.
We're home and we want answers.
That.
7 years this show ran. 7. Fun fact, in the Big Bang Theory, young Sheldon says his dad cheated on his mom, but they made the dad super likable in young Sheldon. Wait, in the Big Bang Theory, Sheldon says his dad cheated on his mom, but they made the dad super likable. hell yeah. I mean, we all saw this edit. We all saw this. And so they retconned it so that he saw his dad having sex with his mom wearing a wig. That is so weird. That is so unserious. Oh my God. Was everybody watching this show like they watched Breaking? No. Was everybody watching this show like they watched The Big Bang Theory?
In here.
We want to know what's going on.
And we know it has something to do with the baby.
And we know it's not yours.
So whose is it?
This is a private matter, and it does not concern you.
It's Georgie.
You don't know that?
Yo, I like this show better with that music from the edit.
Sense. You were talking with him in the garage the other night.
And word on the street is he's sexually active.
Ew. So, who's preggers?
Yes, who?
All right. Family meeting now.
I'll leave you to it.
George.
Zoomers watch it on TikTok? Why? Yeah, where's Nandre? Nandre, you watch Young Sheldon?
Okay, yes. Your brother's gonna have a baby.
With whom?
Her name is Mandy.
Ooh, she's the one that's older than him.
How much older?
That's not important.
That means a lot.
Thank you.
Do I really need to be here for this?
Yes.
Double fudge.
Are they getting married?
We don't
They
know.
say
but
double fudge in
probably.
this show.
It would be better for them and better for the baby.
And better for you, so your church friends don't get down on shit.
It's just easier to watch the show when they cut out all the boring parts.
We'll talk about this later.
Ooh, a subcommittee just formed. Exciting.
The important thing is
Without
that
the
you
music,
both
it's not
need to
hitting. I
keep
know. I
this
need
quiet.
that music.
This is family business.
I have to keep a secret. I'm not good at those.
They're
It's not a
supposed to be
secret.
super Christian.
No one's going to ask you about it. It's just a thing you don't need to bring up.
But what if I do?
What if you don't?
But now it's all I can think about. What if my mouth loses control?
You're good at keeping promises, right?
Very.
I hate this kid.
Great. Then promise you won't tell anybody.
That's an interesting workaround. However,
You're not telling anyone.
fine.
I'm gonna be an aunt. That's so weird.
Not
Everyone
as weird as
does.
Uncle Sheldon.
Yeah, well, we're going to be grandparents.
I don't like Sheldon.
Mama's gonna be a great grandmother.
That sounds so old.
Please tell her that.
Young Sheldon or old Sheldon? No more Sheldon. What are they going to do? Baby Sheldon next time? Or are they going to do old Sheldon? Like old man Sheldon? They're just going to keep Sheldon going. This is so funny. Can you imagine if this actually had happened? Like that's the show. That's the show, what we just watched. The clip of. And then it just ends like this. Someone's like, "You're so fucking annoying," and then just kills Sheldon. That's it. It's over. Zio, thank you for the 16 months. Sentences that have never been spoken by a single person in history. Breaking Bad, did you mean The Big Bang Theory? Yeah. I love saying you guys know what I meant too, when no one knows what I meant. Okay, wait, I think I have one more video. Okay, we watched that one, that one, that one. This one. This woman is an inspiration to me. I mean, the harp player, obviously.
Well, even to ask people, I've never seen a beggar or anybody begging, asking people to put it on their card.
I'm not begging.
Okay?
I'm not begging.
What are you doing then?
Playing music.
Look how beautiful and calm she is in the face of the most annoying British person in the world.
If you weren't begging, you would be playing music for free.
I am playing it for free, technically.
Why are you getting no money then?
Because people want to give money.
No, you don't ask for that.
Why are you
don't do
so
that every day.
not
I'm asking
knackered?
for it.
You are. Tap to give tips for £2. that is begging.
Alright.
I can hear that. I can hear that woman's teeth is insane.
I'll ask Karen Council if you got permission.
The Karen Council. I'll ask the Karen Council if you've got permission. No one likes you.
And they can arrest you.
It is look at her essence. This is an angel. This harp player right here, Robin Hart's harp. This is an angel. And the way that she is so calm in the face of, as I said, the most annoying British woman in the world. Like you just know that woman who is getting on her ass about playing the harp outside, like a lot of musicians do. A lot of musicians play music, and if you want to give them money, you can give them money. You just know that the Karen in this video, what's the British version of Karen actually? What would be the British name for Karen? Karen, have got a council, a crumple bottom. Mildred. Oh my gosh. Mildred is such a British name. Karen is, you know what? Karen is transatlantic. And she herself mentioned the Karen. Joanne. Joanne. Oh my God. Karen is transatlantic. It is. That is correct. But I do love the idea of Joanne. Brit here, still Karen. You just know that this is the wrinkliest, stoutest, like whitest British woman you've ever seen. She's got like a teapot on her head. And her teeth need to be brushed. Actually, the teeth just need to be fully removed. How is this woman not familiar with the concept of busking? No, she is. Like this woman, this is not the first street performer that she has come across. She's just decided, maybe she does this with all of them, but she decided that she was gonna stick her little nose, her dried up crone nose, in the face of this lovely harpist, and I don't know, just try and be I need some British slang here. A wanker? She's just gonna be a wanker? A tosser? A twat? A cunt? Fuck off. A real git. You have to be a demon to get mad at someone playing a harp. You have to be a demon to get mad at someone playing a harp who looks like this. This woman is angelic. Look at her. She is a beautiful angel playing the harp. You know what she needs to do? Yeah, exactly. Everybody say it together. Before you start gossiping about me, love, scratch your minge, sniff your fingers, because you've got bigger fish to fry. What does she have to do? Scratch her minge, sniff her fingers, because she's got bigger fish to fry. Ah, you donut! You donut. Scratch your minge. Man. I genuinely I so admire Robin Hart's harp. How she just stays so calm, cool, and collected. She never raises her voice. Like I feel like I want to imbibe this energy. I want this. I want this. Especially when I live in a city like Los Angeles and I work on the internet, and there's so many things every day that make me want to go 0 to 100. Ugh. Like yesterday when I was driving and I was stuck in a line of cars and we were waiting for the light to turn, and this car had taken its left and pulled up alongside because I guess it was trying to drive down this alley that my car was blocking because I was in this line of cars. And she starts immediately being like, and had she not been a fucking cunt, then I would have reversed the car. There was no one behind me. I would have reversed so she could go through. Instead, I was like, oh, did you need to go here? Are you trying to get here? Are you trying to get here? And she's like, yes. I stuck my tongue out at her like I'm 10. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, you're trying to go down, this street right here that I've been here because there's a light, and you just pulled up here and you're trying to get through. Yeah, okay. I gotcha. I just need to, you know what? I tell myself I'm going to be more like Harp Lady and just go through life and not raise my voice at all. Just be this like effusive angel. No, I'm never going to be like that though. I know that. I know that. Girlfriend wants to know what brand glasses are. Elisa Johnson. I always forget. Because sometimes it is fun being petty like that. When someone needs to scratch the minge, smell the fingers, because they've got bigger fish to fry. I want to learn the harp. I think that's something I need. I think that'd be good for me. To become a harp player. Bring that into my life. Okay, let's get to covering some news. Let me see what I want to start off with. I think I want to start off with Eric Andre put a video out. I gotta pee. I'll be back. I wish I could be like this, but I'm abrasive. It's nice in theory, you know? Nice in theory. Farley's sleeping on the ground, but his eyes were open. He was looking at me, so I told him to scratch his minge, sniff his fingers, because he's got bigger fish to fry. All right, okay. Got to focus here. Focus. Eric Andre just posted this video.
I'm setting the record straight. No one's talking for me. Stop weaponizing anti-Semitism. As a self-loving Jew, let me just say, permanent ceasefire, end the siege on Gaza.
I think this is the most serious I've ever seen Eric Andre act.
Gaza live. Impeach Netanyahu. Fuck Raytheon. Fuck Lockheed Martin. Jewish and Palestinian safety's intertwined. Not in my fucking name. Send them home. You do not need to cut off people's water supply in the name of Jewish safety. You do not need to bomb universities, bomb hospitals, bomb ambulances in the name of Jewish safety. You do not need to bomb children in the name of Jewish safety. Free Gucci Man, free Boosie, free Gaza. You can donate here. You can donate at UNRWA.org. You can donate at Gaza Mutual Aid on Instagram. And you can donate at campusbailfunds.com. Peace and love. Love you guys. Don't set the record straight.
I love that he just comes out of nowhere, first of all. Here, like he's just walking along the sidewalk.
Don't set the record straight. No one's talking for me. Stop weaponizing anti.
Here he comes. People are complaining that Andre did this after being pressured, but these people need. Oh my God. No, I've seen him post other stuff about like ceasefire and stuff. Y'all, we need to chill out. We need to chill out. My God. People are putting their energy in the wrong places. Like, this is not the first time he's said something. You know what that's kind of giving? That energy of like, wow, Eric Andre's finally saying something. When he's said something before, but it's giving when somebody discovers, like, I don't know, some issue or some crisis, okay? And they go to Twitter and be like, why isn't anyone talking about this? It's like, okay, let's hold on for a second here. There's actually a lot of people who've dedicated their lives to this issue. Someone will be like, climate change, hello, no one's talking about climate change. What? Are we seeing what's going on here? Oh, it's one of my pet peeves when someone who has discovered for themselves some problem or whatever it is, and then goes online as like they're the person breaking this news and wondering why no one is talking about this thing. It's like, okay. Yeah, they've been talking about it. You haven't been listening. You are not the first person to have discovered that there's this problem going on. So maybe before you go online and say, why isn't anyone talking about this? Do a little research. Check in to see if there is anybody who's been working to fix this problem. Oh my God, have you heard about the glacier? Why is nobody talking about the glaciers? Oh man. And it just, this, I really am of the mindset now that people who are spending all their time trying to have a gotcha on people like Eric Andre and make this into, oh, don't count what he's saying. This is not important. Just ignore this because he hasn't been vocal enough. I don't know. This to me, we're losing the plot here. And I think it still is like, I maybe it was Sean who tweeted. Somebody was like, the problem is celebrity culture, like stan culture, celebrity worship is bad. We should not be doing that anymore. But what people are doing now is with this like, coming after celebrities like Eric Andre, is they're still obsessing over celebrities. They're still a part of this weird obnoxious stan celebrity worship culture, but now they're antagonistic about it. Like, it's still celeb culture. Yeah, like, you're still, all you care about are celebrities. Caroline, Mama Kwan did discover Billie Eilish. Yes, that is a noted exception. When my mom said I discovered this artist, she actually had discovered Billie Eilish. Being a leftist means always being early. If you're going to be mad at people being late to realize something you knew for a while, you're always going to be angry. True. I do want to clarify and say I don't think all the people who are doing this antagonizing of celebrities are necessarily leftists. You know what I mean? Like, I obviously criticizing bad leftist behavior and problems in the leftist community is important. Calling out, calling out the just purity politics and whatnot, not good. But I think as far as, to me, the people who are making all of their content or their focus online about celebrities aren't like necessarily leftists, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's more of people who are just I don't know, their lives revolve around celebrity culture. I guess leftist in the sense of not being active in lefty politics. All right, let's look at this video. Some people go where the wind blows. Yeah, and some people look to see what's really popular on what's popular online, what's doing well, and a lot of threads and TikToks that were going after celebrities were viral. We're going viral and getting a lot of attention, and so it's a way to have a hit tweet or a hit TikTok. So, hey, Farley, if you could just stop it. Barkies. I put the time in for the. Oh, okay. Oh, you can just leave it here because I'm working right now. Thank you, though. Farley, come here. Farley, stop it. Oh, my Borker, my little Borker. Okay, so say what you will about Macklemore. You can say that Hins Hall is cheesy or that he's cheesy, but look at this video.
من شمال غزة بوثق شو بصير أحداث عندنا في الشمال فشفت بالصدفة أطفال قاعدين بيسمعوا شكله على التيك توك لماكمور بأغنية هند. مرحبا.
تفضلي.
شو اسمك؟
يزن.
شو قاعدين عم تسمعوا؟
عن ماكمور.
إيش الأغنية طيب اللي بتسمعوها؟
He called him Mackmore. Mackmore. Look at this group of little kids who are all gathered around listening to Hins Hall. Like they're in rubble. Look at this. This is their home. This is what it looks like now. And here they are. Look at that smile. Finding a beautiful moment of joy.
تفضلي.
شو اسمك؟
يزن.
شو قاعدين عم تسمعوا؟
عن ماكمور.
ايش الاغنيه طيب اللي بتسمعوها؟
ماكمور.
لمين هو غناها؟
لبنت الهند. محبسة في الإسعاف.
Miss Hind, a girl that was locked in the ambulance.
يعني انتوا لكم على التيك توك
He
وبتشوفوا
sang
شو
it.
بينزلوا الناس عنا وهيك. طيب شو حابب توجه له رساله؟
احنا اول شيء كنا بنفكر انه حد.
That is so wild. Like, obviously, these are kids who are in just a dire situation, but they see what people are saying online. Like, they see, hopefully this is just what they see, the support of so many people around the world and the support from big celebrities like Mackmore who care about them. You know, if it's like the one thing that can bring them can put a smile on their face, then that is so important. It's so important for them to know that they have not been abandoned, that there are so many people around the world who care about them and want to see them safe and want to see them free. Palestinians have been ignored for so long by the broader public. People that get doomer piss me off so much because they have no idea how big things are. Yeah, like what's happening is horrific, and it is very dangerous for Palestinians. But this is such a huge movement, and these children are seeing that a lot of people care about them. And it's, you know, people caring obviously is not going to, you know, is not going to stop bombs from dropping tomorrow, but it's the broader movement, and it's the hope that it gives, hopefully, to Palestinians, including these kids. That it's like, don't give up. We are here. We are here. We see you. We support you. We're doing everything that we can to stop this. Yeah. After decades of basically silence about their struggle.
حابب توجه له رسالة.
احنا اول شيء كنا بنفكر انه ما حدش كان يدعمنا.
See, at first we thought that nobody was standing with us.
فطلع هو
But it turned out that he was sharing our stories besides our
طلع عن
situation.
قصصنا وعن القضية اللي احنا فيها. وبحب أشكره كثير.
And I would like to thank Macklemore for helping and supporting us. I would very much like to thank Macklemore.
يعني بحب أشكره كثير. لماكمور.
I'm Yazan from Northern Gaza. I'd like to thank him a lot.
Bye.
Tell him goodbye. Bye. Okay, go on watching. Really, you guys, having a celebrity as big as Macklemore be so vocal in his support for Palestine to the point that he made a song, and not just about Palestinians broadly, but it's specifically called Hind's Hall. These kids know who Hind was. They know what happened to her. And so to hear this song that has her name in it and, you know, speaks to all the kids in Palestine is remarkable. You know, what a beautiful thing for them to get to see. Look at them all gathered around. Free Palestine, you can hear. Man. Well, everyone's crying. I know. Everyone. And just looking at them with the backdrop here of all the rubble, just the reality of the situation, and yet them feeling hopeful because a big American artist made a song about them, and a lot of people, you know, a lot of people are supporting them and care about them. Can you link this? Yeah. Sec. Like, I just think, you know, I just think that this is an example of how, when we've talked about, I know we just said, like, don't be so obsessed with celebrities that now if your obsession with celebrity culture is solely on antagonizing celebrities. But when we've talked about how celebrities with big platforms actually can make a difference, this is an example of that. This is an example of a celebrity with a big platform, Macklemore, who is making a difference. Evan, thank you for the 14 months, and Roulette Minded, thank you for the 3 months. Yeah. It's also very impressive to see Macklemore go from pretty unaware of the conflict he posted about it on IG to releasing a song that's calling out for support months later. Yeah, Macklemore is an example of someone who you can see did the reading. Macklemore has done a lot of self-learning, and that is something that we should all be doing. We're all responsible for our journeys like that, where if we don't know about something, then look into it, especially something that's this big and this important. I just really loved this video, and obviously there's a sadness to it because it shows just how little these kids have, that they are looking for anything to give them hope, and how they're so young, but they have grown up in just their few years learning that people don't care about Palestinian life, that for so long the lives of their parents and their grandparents, and for some even their great-grandparents and their neighbors, and, you know, all the members of their community, their lives have gone largely ignored and devalued and dehumanized. And so there's been, you know, with this huge movement that there's been centering Palestinian life, they see this. I wanted to read this piece that was in the New York Times. This is a guest essay. It was written by Hisham Arwatani, who was one of the Palestinian American students at Brown who was shot. And he wrote this opinion piece in the New York Times. That frigid autumn night in Burlington, Vermont was not the first time I had stared down the barrel of a gun. It was not even the first time I had been fired at. Half a world away in the West Bank, it had happened before. On a hot day in May 2021, a classmate and I, both of us 17 at the time, were protesting near a checkpoint in Ramallah. Bullets, both rubber and metal, were flying into the crowd, even though we were unarmed. I was hit with one of the former, my classmate the latter. It is incomprehensible that this is a person who has been shot in the West Bank and also been shot in America, both for being Palestinian, both times. Before, we had been students cramming for our chemistry final. Then, on the other side of Israeli rifles, we were a mass of terrorists disqualified from humanity. So that night in November, when my two friends and I were shot while we were walking on North Prospect Street, I was not particularly surprised to find myself lying on the lawn of a White House, blood splattered across the screen of my phone. Back home in Ramallah, I knew that I was one wrong move away from bleeding out. Israeli soldiers have been known to prevent or hinder paramedics from tending to injured Palestinians. but I had never expected to feel this on a quiet street in Vermont on a stroll before Thanksgiving dinner. The shooting of 3 Palestinian Americans in Burlington has received more sustained coverage than any single act of violence against Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank since October 7th. Why did reporters and news channels interview our mothers and take our portraits when young men my age have been shot at by snipers, detained indefinitely without trial, and treated as a statistic? It's a question that has eaten away at me these past months. Was it the shock of such a violent crime in peaceful Vermont? Was it that my friends and I went to well-known American colleges? Did the timing of our shooting during a holiday weekend play a role? I'm sure it did, but to me, the determining factor is the reframing of the crime. Instead of settlements, the Oslo Accords, or the Intifada, the conversation around our shooting involved terms such as gun violence, hate crimes, and right-wing extremism. Instead of being maimed in Arab streets, we were shot in small-town America. Instead of being seen as Palestinians, for once we were seen as people. Death and dehumanization are status quo for Palestinians. We grow used to being funneled through checkpoints and strip-searched, assault rifles trained on us all the while. The result is a constant existential calculus. If an unarmed autistic man, an 8-year-old boy, and a journalist wearing a vest emblazoned press could be perceived to be such a threat that they were shot dead, then I must accept that by existing as a Palestinian, I am a legitimate target. This dynamic was so ubiquitous to me that I could not quite put it into words until I left the West Bank to attend college in the United States. My classes gave me the vocabulary to understand dehumanization, the portrayal of the colonized as a violent primitive. I realized that the infrastructure of the occupation, the checkpoints, the detentions, the armed settlers encroaching, is built around the violence I am assumed to be capable of, not who I am. This system of othering, Israeli-only roads, fenced-off settlements, the security wall, is an inherent part of the Israeli state psyche. Yet far from ensuring Israeli safety, it instead inflicts mass humiliation on Palestinians. Close to half of the Palestinians alive today were born after the violence of the Second Intifada and have interacted with Israelis only in the confines of the security apparatus built in its wake. The military apparatus in my home in the West Bank is a judge, jury, and executioner. While settlers in the West Bank are subject to Israeli civilian law, Palestinians are subject to military law. It is as if we are all already combatants. The dehumanization we face is twofold. Beyond the day-to-day aspects of our lives, it permeates the media coverage of what we experience. In the news, our militancy is presumed, our killers unnamed, and our deaths repackaged into statistics. Somehow we die without being killed. The very veracity of our deaths is called into question. The extent of the civilian death toll in Gaza should not come as a surprise when Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, can speak unchecked of, quote, human animals. My story is one drop in the ocean of suffering faced by Palestinians, and compared to the immense and indescribable suffering of the people of Gaza, frankly trivial. As I wheeled myself down the smooth corridors of the hospital where I received care after the shooting, I thought of those in wheelchairs in Gaza, struggling to navigate the rubble-strewn streets as they fled their homes. I thought of the reports about a woman being shot dead as she held her grandson's hand while he clutched a white flag. I thought of a 17-year-old shot in the back by settlers in the West Bank. The pain of knowing their fates is fathomless and has yet to cease. I think back to the circumstances in which I was shot with my 2 friends, Kinan Abdalhamid and Tahsin Ali Ahmad, and imagine them instead in the context of the West Bank. A Hisham, Kinan, and Tahsin shot there could have been left to die. Our names would circulate for a day or two in pro-Palestinian circles, but in the end, we would be commemorated only on a poster in the streets of Ramallah, our faces eventually worn down with time, like the countless others that I've walked past in the streets of my home. If that scenario does not stir the same feelings in you as my shooting, if your first instinct when a Palestinian is shot, maimed, or left handicapped is to find excuses, then I do not want your support. When I was still in the hospital, my family and I were visited by a friend who had just recently made it out of Gaza. He recounted how he saw the beginning of the Israeli bombing from his balcony and soon after showered and left his house with a pre-packed bag. He told me of tents, of hunger, of explosions, but there's one thing that really stood out for me as he recounted his ordeal. He explained how the only way for him to survive in Gaza was to accept that he had already died. Only after he'd come to terms with the realization that his life, as he knew it, was over, could he enjoy a puff of a cigarette and a sip of coffee in the morning. This acceptance is the goal of the Israeli dehumanization complex. To be Palestinian today is to accept this fate. I have been back on campus since February, and the adjustment has been tough. The man who's accused of shooting me has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. But my mind is elsewhere. Every morning when I wake up, I check for number 1. I check for one number. It has exceeded 35,000. It's difficult for me to come to terms with the reality of so much loss. In class, between Mesopotamian myths and commutative algebra, a few thoughts play on a loop in my mind. How can we come back from so much grief? How could we let this happen? What are we supposed to make of the world when Palestinian deaths are excused by talking points, repeated again and again on the news? I yearn to return to my home, to my olive trees, my cats, and my family. I realize, though, that when I cross the King Hussein Bridge from Jordan into the West Bank, I will return to my designation as a potential terrorist. I cease to be a junior at Brown University, a student of archaeology and mathematics, a San Francisco Giants fan, a Balkan history nerd. My entire identity will be reduced to my capacity for violence, not as a human being, but as a Palestinian. Yeah, this is a really, really powerful piece, and something that I have seen Palestinian friends and acquaintances post about is their refusal to try and garner sympathy from those who see their posts by showing the bodies of dead children. My friend Sarah, who's such a beautiful writer, she's written about this, where she's like, if you cannot see the humanity in Palestinian people while they are alive, then I'm not going to show you them in death. Like, I'm not going to use their dead bodies as a way to try and get you to cherish Palestinian life. And there have also been moments that she's talked about family members of hers who've been killed in Gaza, and a refusal to show their beautiful faces because that shouldn't be needed. Whether showing their dead bodies or showing, how beautiful they were in life, like, shouldn't need to be doing that for people to care. And it's such a, that's such a haunting thing, where you think about the reality of being Palestinian is having to justify your humanity every single day of your life, and even in your death, having to, like, even in the wake of a Palestinian life that has been snuffed out, trying to still prove that they were human beings and deserved a life of dignity and of freedom. James Baldwin said, "The children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe. I'm beginning to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality." Yeah, and I think about that video of the kids in Gaza who held a press conference, and they thought to themselves, as did the adults who helped organize the press conference, surely if people see that we are kids, that we're cute little kids, then that will appeal to them, that our humanity will become will become visible to them. And still, after they posted, or after that video of their press conference where they were begging people to help them and to save them, and begging, these governments to stop dropping bombs on them because they they're just kids, and they have dreams, they have hopes. And the fact that there were so many people and so many people in power who didn't give a shit about that is why people like Sarah go, I'm not going to utilize the precious bodies of Palestinian children anymore to try and garner sympathy for the Palestinian cause. If you can't understand this on a basic level, if you can't look at like the Palestinian group, the Palestinian population, and see that just as human beings, they deserve rights and liberties, then I shouldn't have to like find the perfect example or show you the the sweetest, cutest little Palestinian child to try and get you to care. There was a tweet that was just, that was the, that was the article in HuffPost. I don't know how to convince you to care about other people. That article came out like 5-6 years ago, I think, and is still just so relevant. Because it is, I don't know how to convince you to care about other people. And if you are someone where you still don't care about the injustices that Palestinians have faced every single day, then there is not going to be like one story or one little Palestinian child's face that will speak to you. Like you're just simply you're simply corrupted. You have no humanity. So you cannot see the humanity in Palestinians. So many people just see these kids as terrorists in the making, of course, because that is the dehumanization complex. You dehumanize them from when they are born. So that way you can justify killing them. The only way to justify killing children is if you maintain that these children are not innocent, okay? Because from when they are born, they are dangerous. They are terrorists in the making, because guess what? Kids grow up to become adults. So many Zionists see Palestinian children as their real enemy, the way they talk about demographics or share memes about Palestinian watermelons having too many seeds. Well, the other thing is that Palestinian children represent Palestinian life. You know, young generations represent that a group of people have not given up, that they have not ceased to exist, that they are still producing life. And try as you might, you have not erased them physically. Like you may have been successful in erasing them from the narrative and erasing their humanity, but they are here. They are still here. They are alive. They exist. They are the future. Yeah, children are the future. Children are the future, and that's why they are seen as the enemy. Yeah. I want to cover a little bit of what happened at The Hague today. South Africa went in front of the ICJ. And South Africa went in front of the ICJ to request that the ICJ enacts serious measures, further measures against Israel, maintaining the urgency of these international orders, these emergency orders to stop what's happening currently in Rafah, which is the last area of Gaza that has yet to be fully invaded by Israel. So here is Professor Von Lowe in his statements that he made.
With that, Mr. President, I respectfully wish to request you to invite Professor Von Lowe to set out South Africa's substantive legal arguments. I thank you.
I thank the agent of South Africa for his statement. I now invite Professor Von Lowe to take the floor. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, members of the court, it is a privilege to appear before you and an honour to have been entrusted with the presentation of this part of South Africa's submissions. This is not a routine case. It's not even a routine case on the use of force or on international humanitarian law. South Africa is here because the Palestinian people are facing genocide in Gaza, and your previous orders have not succeeded in protecting them against that.
This can yet again be studied through the lens of artificial caste generation, where one is born to be a certain way, be a name, color, nationality, name, whatever. It's yet again to prove that caste ideologies are the most harmful of all, the original bigotry. Yeah, that's why I found Origin, which looks at Isabel Wilkerson, or which takes Isabel Wilkerson's book Caste and turns it into narrative cinema. I found it really interesting at how Isabel Wilkerson's thesis was that caste is what links together the greatest atrocities in history, is the foundation of caste.
The court held in January that the Palestinians have a legal right to protection against genocide, and that South Africa had shown that there was a real and imminent risk to the irreparable violation of that right. The court issued an order because it considered it necessary to protect the Palestinian people against genocide, and it issued a further order in March. But whether because of a lack of clarity as to precisely what the orders require, or because Israel chooses to ignore them, they have not been effective. The United Nations has a framework, including the Security Council and the General Assembly, for addressing international disputes. But this part has not worked well in this case. And South Africa respectfully asks the court to reassert its authority and its role in this framework. South Africa has considered the technical legal requirements for provisional measures, change in the situation and so on, and will address them. But the essential point is that the court has the power to act, to ensure that its previous orders and its eventual judgment will not be worthless, and that the Palestinian people will be protected, and that it needs to exercise that power now. Israel's action is directed against the Palestinian people throughout Gaza and the West.
So obviously, this is, things get tricky because Israel, there's no way to stop Israel from doing what they're doing without the United States stepping in and cutting them off. Because if they don't have the resources from the United States, if they don't have the backing from the US, then they can't keep doing what they are doing. But otherwise, what the ICJ rules on, even though they are legally binding orders, it's like Israel has just continued to violate the orders anyway, albeit they are legally binding. So what this does is, one, it puts everything on the record. Okay, it shows that this is what the decisions were. Israel violated them. They violated they violated international law by not adhering to the ICJ's orders. And then if, let's say the UN Security Council refers this matter to the UNSC to try and take it a step further, that also then is putting this all on the record. And so if the US does what they do, which is veto anything that would stop Israel from continuing, then it continues to separate the international community at the highest order with the US and the UN. So, yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of people are like, it's symbolic. This isn't really going to do much. It's still really, really important, though, that a country like South Africa is going to the ICJ, presenting this case, and the ICJ responding by enacting emergency orders that Israel must abide by. Okay. Oh my goodness.
You're going crazy. I like your sweater.
Thank you. You're gonna come in here. No more work. No. You lost the. No. No, you're staying here now. You're here.
Bank.
You're here. Okay, so what could also happen too, if Israel refuses to abide by any orders, is they could face UN sanctions. So this would include economic and trade sanctions, arms embargoes, travel bans, et cetera, et cetera. But really, the biggest hammer in this situation is the United States. So all of this contributes to more and more and more pressure on the U.S.
South Africa's request was initially focused on Rafah because the imminent prospect of death and suffering on a massive scale resulting from Israel's attack. Since that request was made, it has become increasingly clear that Israel's actions in Rafah are part of the end game, in which Gaza is utterly destroyed as an area capable of human habitation. This is the last step in the destruction of Gaza and its Palestinian people. It was Rafah that brought South Africa to the court, but it is all Palestinians as a national, ethnical and racial group who need the protection from genocide that the court can order. We've heard expressions of outrage that anyone could accuse Israel of acting in this way. We've heard assurances that Israel was doing everything in its power to avoid civilian deaths as it exercised its claimed right of self-defense. We've heard boasts that Israel's army is the most moral army in history. And we've heard denials that there is famine in Gaza. For months, people, particularly in the West, have appeared unwilling to accept that the accusations are true. How could people who look like us and sound like us possibly engage in anything like genocide? But the evidence has to be faced. My colleagues will take you to that evidence, including evidence.
That's such a wild way for people to look at the situation here. They're like, what? Israelis, they look like us, they sound like us, etc. Us? Are you talking about the West? We talking about we talking about the West? Because when it comes to genocide, there are a few examples that we can point to, namely what we did to indigenous populations here in North America. So, yeah, no, they're really just following in the footsteps.
Of continued bombings, attacks on people in so-called safe areas to which they've been directed by Israel, attacks on aid convoys, and of mass graves and the horrors of which the corpses speak. There is no credible argument that this catastrophe is not real. The court has already found a real and imminent risk of the violation of the rights of the Palestinian people to protection against genocide. The court is aware of the statements of the United Nations Secretary General, of the President of the United States, of heads of state and foreign ministers from around the world, and of the heads of international aid agencies. They, and the personal accounts and the news footage that emerges from Gaza, tell a consistent story of unimaginable horror. And it continues as we speak. Most of Gaza has been razed. The survivors who are from time to time allowed to return to their homes are returning to rubble, with no homes, no running water, or electricity, or sewage, or other working infrastructure. And with the few possessions that they've managed to carry with them on carts or cars as they're pushed from one so-called safe area to the next. If the court does not act now, the possibility of rebuilding a viable Palestinian society in Gaza will be destroyed, at least for the lifetime of those who survived the current horrors of Gaza. The details are not always easy to verify because Israel continues to bar independent investigators and journalists from entering Gaza. And over 100 journalists who were in Gaza have been killed.
No, it's all good though, bro, because Israel just investigates themselves. They don't need independent investigations done because Israel is just source. Trust me, bro. We're looking into it. We're investigating. We're all looking for the guy who did this.
Since the Israeli attacks began. But Israel cannot block investigations by independent investigators and then say that the court cannot proceed because there is insufficient evidence against it. The court has to deal with this case on the basis of its appraisal of the best evidence available to it. Israel may again invoke its claimed right of self-defense, but it does not address three glaringly obvious points. First, the right of self-defense does not give a state a license to use unlimited violence.
Also, I know that there's a lot of you in here who are always like, oh, I got to send this to my mom or I got to send this to my dad or whatever. I think it's always a good idea to send them this kind of stuff where it's like, this is at the International Court of Justice. Here is them laying out the entire case. This is not, like, obviously the way that we consume, young people consume our news as opposed to our older family members is different. But it's something where when you're dealing with family members who are really obstinate and are think that anything that you're consuming is not trustworthy. Oh, you're just getting information off TikTok. You're just getting information offline. Like, you can't trust that. Okay, then send them this. Send them this kind of stuff. This is where international law is discussed. This is the highest court.
No right of self-defense can ever extend to a right to inflict massive, indiscriminate violence and starvation collectively on an entire people. Second, Nothing, not self-defense or anything else, can ever justify genocide. The prohibition on genocide is absolute, a peremptory norm of international law.
Unfortunately, most of my family supports Trump, so facts are unlikely to sway them.
Third, the court ruled in 2004 that there is no right of self-defense by an occupying state against the territory that it occupies. The key point today is that Israel's declared aim of wiping Gaza from the map is about to be realized. Further, evidence of appalling crimes and atrocities is literally being destroyed and bulldozed, in effect wiping the slate clean for those who've committed these crimes and making a mockery of justice. The court is not powerless, and South Africa submits with respect that it must do something to assert not only its own authority, but the authority of international law. South Africa submits that in order to secure the entry and distribution of food and humanitarian supplies and to save lives, a halt to Israeli military operations across Gaza is essential. The overwhelming weight of opinion among states and international organizations is the same. A halt to military operations in Gaza is necessary to comply with the previous orders that the court has already imposed. If Israel continues to deny that its bombing and shelling and military incursions and blocking of roads and entry points and its other military operations in Gaza are preventing the fulfillment of the court's orders, the court needs to spell it out explicitly for Israel and for the benefit of any other states that are still providing aid or assistance to Israel in its campaign to eradicate Palestine. These points will be developed, sir, by South Africa's Council. First, John Dugard will explain the jurisdictional and other preconditions to the exercise of the court's power to order provisional measures and demonstrate that they are met. Second, Max du Plessis will set out the recent events that have necessitated South Africa's return to the court, and particularly those concerning Rafah. Then Adila Hassain will explain the scale and imminence of the risk facing Palestinians in Gaza. And after that, Tembeka Kokutobi will show that Israel's...
Have you guys never seen... The people who are so shocked about the wig, have you never seen British barristers? Like, they've been wearing these wigs forever.
Actions have a pattern and an explicit purpose that clearly indicates that the aim is to eradicate Palestine. And finally, Lina Negroli will explain the remedies that South Africa seeks. And the agent will return to read out South Africa's prayer for relief. That, Mr. President, members of the court, concludes my part of this submission, and I thank you for your attention and ask that you now call on Professor Dugard.
Whoa, what?
For nearly 5 decades.
Whoa, I was like, what is playing?
In this genocide, which has shocked the conscience of humanity, South Africa is mindful that the present genocide operates in denial of the Palestinian people's inalienable right to self-determination and collective right to return to their homes in Palestine. This genocide takes place within the...
Wait, I'm sorry. I just realized that my screen capture has been off kilter. Nobody told me! I'm sure there are people in chat who were like, please move it over to the right. Why is it like that?
In the context of the ongoing Nakba, the 76th anniversary of which was celebrated yesterday, the continued forced displacement of the Palestinian people, the erasure of Palestinian presence in Palestine, and replacement with colonial settlers. A criminal process entrenched and maintained by 76 years of apartheid and 56 years of illegal, belligerent occupation.
It's just amazing to me that you have South Africa that has stepped up for Palestinian life. South Africa, which has experienced apartheid. When we think of apartheid, we think of South Africa. And here they are, not just, not just as lawyers, not just as experts of international law, but as people who are from a place that lived through apartheid. Like, it's so important because this is what they went through. And so as they, and just like, the connections between white South African apartheid regimists and Israel, and how Israel supported white South Africa. And there's just such a connective history there. And to have them be the ones leading the case at the international court is a huge deal. And it's amazing the hypocrisy with Zionists who say, we lived through the Holocaust. We were brutalized and murdered and subjugated. And that is why we X, Y, and Z. Okay. So they use the Holocaust as their experience on being able to speak on atrocities. And yet when it comes to South Africa, that had apartheid for decades and has been the leading country in the case of Israel's apartheid regime and then subsequent genocide that's happening right now, they're totally dismissed. It's like, oh no, South Africa is just Hamas. There's no recognition of their history here, of them having lived through apartheid. They're leading the charge where countries like Germany and the USA are actively running defense for Israel. Right. It's like a country that had to fight back against their own apartheid regime, stepping up to fight for a group of people who have been subjected to apartheid and occupation and genocide. And countries like the US and Germany, being on the opposite side of things. And once again, supporting a genocide. Once again, supporting an apartheid state.
Undoubtedly, the ongoing scenes of Palestinians being forced to repeatedly flee for their lives is only reminiscent of the Nakba of 1948. It is a continuation of it.
This is better quality. Thanks.
Distinguished members of the court,
I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
It is an honor and a privilege for me to appear before you to respect international law. This institutionalized impunity has led Israel to engage.
I don't know. I kind of like the 100p.
in this genocide, which has shocked the conscience of humanity. South Africa is mindful that the present genocide operates in denial of the Palestinian people's inalienable right to self-determination and collective right to return to their homes in Palestine. This genocide takes place within the context of the ongoing Nakba, the 76.
Just constantly exposing the hypocrisy. Oh, so Israel has the right to Jewish people have the right to self-determination. Israel must exist because Jewish people have the right to self-determination. But Palestinians do not. Palestinians do not have the right to self-determination. Palestinians do not have the right to exist. No Palestinian state has the right to exist. You prefer the AI 4K 1080p? Well, tomato, tomato. On the Lex Friedman debate, when Norm and Rabbani brought up all the condemnations of Israel at the UN, Benny Morris unironically said, well, some of the judges on these cases were Syrians and Egyptians. Literally, the UN is Hamas. Oh, yeah. The UN is Hamas. Everybody's Hamas. Children are Hamas. Any person who speaks out against Israel is Hamas. We are all Hamas. Ham and Fist, thank you for the tier 1.
Anniversary of which was celebrated yesterday. The continued forced displacement of the Palestinian people, the erasure of Palestinian presence in Palestine, and replacement with colonial settlers. A criminal process entrenched and maintained by 76 years of apartheid and 56 years of illegal, belligerent
The bees were Hamas.
Undoubtedly, the ongoing scenes of Palestinians being forced to repeatedly flee for their lives is only reminiscent of the Nakba of 1948. It is a continuation of it. 7 months ago, South Africa could not have imagined that Gaza would now be mostly wiped off the map. It could not foresee that every family, every neighborhood, every class of students, every workplace would be pulled apart, killed, maimed, displaced, malnourished, or starved. South Africa had hoped, when we last appeared before this court, to halt this genocidal process, to preserve Palestine and its people. Instead, Israel's genocide has continued apace and has just reached a new and horrific stage. Israel has sought to hide its crimes through the weaponization of international humanitarian law. It pretends that the civilians it ruthlessly kills through its 2,000-pound bombs, through its targeted airstrikes, through its artificial intelligence systems, through its executions, are human shields. This whitewashing of Israel's genocide.
Anyway, this is, yeah, wait, is this almost done?
Misses the key and fundamental element, that of the massive and still mounting evidence of Israel's genocidal intent. Documents and videos of Israeli parliamentarians and military leaders calling for the destruction of the Palestinian people in Gaza. Incitement by Israeli civil society and leading public Israeli figures, all collectively supporting the genocide and its continuation. Israel continues to show utter contempt for Palestinian life, operating with impunity. South Africa has no other option than to once again seek protection in the halls of justice for the fundamental right of the Palestinian people to their existence. Although this present application was triggered by the unfolding horrific situation in Rafah, Israel's genocidal onslaught across Gaza has intensified over the past few days, also warranting the attention of this court. With that, Mr. President, I respectfully wish to request you to invite Professor Von Low to set out South Africa's substantive legal arguments. I thank you.
I thank the agent of.
I think we have like a bunch of resources. Katie has a thing set up. Yeah. I also think reading from historians like Ian Pape, Rashid Khalidi, Norm Finkelstein is a premier expert on Israel and Palestine. Like, that has been his entire life, that he has studied the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Someone else said, does this actually do anything, or is it pointless? So we have this conversation every time that there's something going on with the international community just taking steps to try and stop Israel from continuing this relentless onslaught and genocide, where can they physically stop Israel? No. But can they hold Israel accountable? Can they enact international pressure? Can the international community come together and put pressure on Israel via the United States of America? Possibly. Is this all being documented? Is this all going on the record for when the ICJ comes to their determination on officially declaring Israel as having committed genocide, which will take years? Yes, this could lead to possible UN sanctions. This could lead to the UN Security Council taking a vote to enact their own orders on Israel, which of course the United States will most likely veto. But again, it's showing that the world is not supporting, is that a vape? It looks like one. The world is not supporting Team Israel and United States of America. So, I showed my Christian parents Hins Hall music video. They said they completely agreed, so I bought my dad Norm's Gaza book. So I'm slowly turning them into anti-Zionists. Let's go. When criminal courts will say you are conducting genocide, countries can easily drop their investment partnership with country, which can lead to the country failing. Right. The problem with Israel specifically is that they are supported by the U.S. and have always been supported by the U.S., so it's like, oh, you're going to drop me? I don't need you, because we get all our funding from the U.S. Israel is the country that receives the most aid from the United States.
South Africa for a statement. I now invite Professor Von Low to take...
And again, all of this matters. All of this matters. What's happening at the ICJ matters. The student protests matter. Holding celebrities accountable, and holding politicians accountable, holding people in power accountable, marching on politicians' offices. Like, all of this matters to the fight. And of course, recognizing the reality that Israel will not stop until there is pressure from the United States. I hate when people say, is this really going to make a difference? That is a very doomer mentality. Then what's the point of anything then? If nothing could possibly make a difference, then why do we bother with anything at all? There are things that we fight for that we know might not happen in this lifetime, but you still fight for progress. You still fight for change. An important fact is that no country has ever been found guilty of genocide in courts, not Germany for the Holocaust, not Serbia for the Bosnian genocide. The closest we've gotten is Serbia being convicted of failure to stop genocide, so things can resolve without Israel being convicted fully. True. Yes.
The floor. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, members.
Yeah, I mean, in the low likelihood that Israeli officials are held responsible for the war crimes they have sanctioned, then this also will help with those cases.
Of the court, it is a privilege to appear before you and an honour to have been entrusted with the presentation of this part of South Africa's submissions. This is not a routine.
Okay, anyway, I'm gonna move us over and take a look at the CNN report that came out. It's like 6 minutes long, I think. Yeah. So CNN did some actual journalism here, and they looked into the UCLA violence, the violence that occurred when a group of Zionist thugs showed up to the Palestinian encampment and started brutalizing those protesters. CNN actually looked into this, showing you who is behind the violence, because guess what? This was not a both sides thing. This was not both, Zionists and Palestinian protesters attacked one another. No, this was one-sided attacking.
This is the worst violence of any of the ongoing college protests. UCLA, where counter-protesters used sticks and boards against a pro-Palestine
Scooty, thank you for the
encampment. It was more than 3 hours of unrestrained violence the night of April 30th that led to injuries and bloody scenes as campus security and law enforcement allowed it to continue.
They were there spraying, they were there pulling barriers, and they were there to very clearly do some serious harm to the students who were on campus.
When you look at the counter-protesters, how many of them were UCLA students?
I would say basically none of them.
Who are the most aggressive offenders? A CNN investigation of hundreds of videos from multiple sources shows many of them are outsiders, not UCLA students. Among the people who showed up that night,
Isn't that interesting that the outside agitator narrative has been applied by politicians like Eric Adams and mainstream media fuckers like Dana Bash, has been applied to the Palestinian protesters. Oh, these aren't students protesting for Palestine. These are outside agitators. But here we have an instance of the most brutal counter-protester violence from these student protests, and the majority of the ones who showed up to beat down on these student protesters were outside agitators.
With no apparent connection to the Middle East war, others driven by real beliefs. Among them, this man. He strikes a pro-Palestine protester with a long white pole.
Twitch123, thank you for the tier 1.
And is part of a mob that pummels the man as he falls to the ground. Stop. He's seen in multiple videos wearing this white mask, striking the barriers, throwing objects into the encampment. Without his mask, we see who he is. 18-year-old Idan On of Beverly Hills, a senior.
Wow. Do you guys understand how huge it is that CNN is actually identifying these violent thugs? Name that piece of shit. Name them, expose them. Show everyone who they are. That is how you actually do journalism. How do you spell so the name is Edan, E-D-A-N, On, O-N.
At a local high school.
Come inside to the kitchen.
His own mom, Doc. His own mom was like, oh yeah, that's my son. He's an 18-year-old high school senior. His mom confirmed to CNN. And then later, though, she denied that he was at UCLA. Okay. Oh my goodness. I love you so much. You're driving me nuts. I love you. His mother was like, oh yeah, that's my son. He's a high school senior. And then later when she, I don't know, maybe realized that he could get in trouble for the fact that he was beating on student protesters, she was like, no, actually he was not there. What she said initially, Edan went to bully the Palestinian students in the tents at UCLA and played the song that they played to the Nakba terrorists in prison. She boasted about this on Facebook. Yeah, he's got a Facebook mom. You will always be undone if you have a Facebook mom, okay? Just so you know. She circled an image of him that had been broadcast at the local news. Look at the fucking photo that she put on Facebook, you guys. This is him throwing an object into the encampment. And she circled it and posted it on Facebook to brag to brag to like her other weirdo Zionist friends. What a freak. Did she draw a smiley face? No, I don't think so. No, just circled it.
I spoke with his mother.
Hi there, are you Sharon? Hi. How are you? Hi, let me introduce us.
She did not want to be on camera, but quickly identified her son from this picture at UCLA that night. She described in detail how her son found the mask and pole on the ground and said he was defending himself in this fight. On her Facebook page, Idan On's mother posted and circled a screen grab of her son from a local TV station.
I cannot!
She wrote in Hebrew, Idan went to bully the Palestinian students in the tents at UCLA.
Oh, wait, but I thought he was self-defending. Classic Israel shit. Classic fucking... Take a drink for every time the Zionist argument is self-defense. Yeah, sorry, Sharon, you can't post this photo bragging about your son saying, yeah, he went to bully the Palestinian students, then be like, wait, the only reason that he picked that up was because he was self-defending.
Idan's mother and father proudly support Israel and defended their son's actions at UCLA, saying he is heading to Israel to join the IDF after our interview.
Oh my God. He is heading to Israel to join the IDF. It's wild. It is wild to think that there are American citizens who go to another country to fight in that army. I don't mean like to fight for that country's army. I don't mean like obviously, you know, military people go overseas and fight in wars. I mean that they live in America and they go to fight for an army overseas. They should be treated as war criminals, truly. Citizenship revoked. Citizenship revoked.
To join the IDF.
Like, of course, they're going to fight in the IDF. Who's surprised?
She texted
No one.
to say Idan denies being at UCLA. Older men were also at the front of the violence. Tom Bibian recorded pulling bike racks.
What a punk,
plywood,
man.
Kicking protesters.
What a little
throwing
fucker.
cones at the students in the encampment, water bottles at protesters, and yelling expletives. We went to ask Bibian why he'd gone to the campus that night.
Hi, you're Mr. Bibian.
Yeah.
I'm truly so shocked at this actual journalism from CNN of identifying these violent counter protesters.
Turn that off. You don't have permission to record me.
Bibian was wearing the same jacket.
Mr. Bibian.
Yeah, can you turn that off? You don't have...
This guy! You're such a freak. You are such a freak. You went to a student encampment so that you could beat up on students. You know, honestly, you should be a cop. He probably is a cop. He's wearing the same
and yelling expletives. We went to ask Bibian why he'd gone to the campus that night.
Hi,
He's in the same jacket. He is wearing the same exact jacket. A grown-ass man who went to a peaceful student encampment to beat up on these students and call them slurs. And then is such a bitch ass and is like, you can't record me. You can't record me. Actually, yes, they can.
Mr. Bibian.
Yeah, can you turn that off? You don't have permission to record me.
Bibian was wearing the same jacket he had on in the video from UCLA. He's a Los Angeles resident,
Oh,
age
this
42.
guy.
Seen at a 2020
42 years old. 42 years old. You know how Zionists love to keep being like, fuck around and find out? Fuck around and find out, 42-year-old loser. You go to that encampment where there were all these phones and protesters were documenting the violence that you were enacting. Yeah, you're going to get caught. People are going to find you out. That's called fuck around and find out, asshole.
22 pro-Trump protest outside the Los Angeles FBI office. He did not want to explain why he's on video doing this.
You're being a little rude, and I'm going to call the police if you don't leave.
Sure. Okay. We identified
Oh my God! What a dork ass loser. What a bitch. He is such a bitch. That is the definition of bitch. You're being rude and I'm going to call the cops. Okay, do it. Call the cops. Not so tough now, yeah. Not so tough now, are you? You were tough when you were shoving and attempting to hurt student protesters. That's when you were tough. Really, this guy should be a cop. This guy, this 42-year-old guy who gets his rocks off from hurting students and then is such a little bitch when he's called out for it.
not just Tom Bibian, but other older men who have no apparent affiliation with UCLA.
I mean, you've seen them at how many other events?
Lots of different events, school board meetings, city council meetings.
In California, crime is legal, but being rude is illegal. I've never seen such a bitch-made loser in my life. Yes. Yes. Bitch-made. Yes.
Angie Gavant is a Los Angeles area public school mom who's been tracking right-wing protesters in her area. The group who she'd seen protesting gay rights in public schools were drawn to UCLA that night.
The revolution ain't happening tonight.
Of course. Do you see how this...
Schools
Wait.
were drawn in her area. The group who she'd seen protesting gay rights in public schools were drawn to UCLA that night.
Wait a sec. I thought that we can't support Palestinians because there's no queer rights. Wait a second. Hold on. Isn't this funny how Zionists are always on the scene of the crime when it comes to other forms of racism, bigotry? I'm shocked. Funny how that works, isn't it? Same people, same homophobic losers who are protesting against gay rights would show up to a pro-Palestinian student encampment to beat the shit out of them. Comedian Dave Anthony is part of the group that is tracking these people after they started a riot at his kid's school. They don't live in the district. Wow, I'm so shocked that once again these people went to a place that isn't even their community, that you don't go here. CNN didn't do shit, by the way. It was Film the Police LA and a few other LA private journalists. They sent this to CNN. CNN still ain't doing a real journalism. Thank you for pointing out that this is Film the Police. I want to shout out Film the Police LA and the other journalists who made sure that this got to CNN. You know that me saying like, wow, CNN doing actual journalism is simply me even surprised that they did this segment. That they even went to go talk to these protesters, to these counter protesters who showed up at UCLA, and that the fact that they went to go even speak with them, like I'm shocked.
The revolution ain't happening tonight.
Man down, man down.
Though they were clearly at UCLA that night, there's no evidence these men participated in the violence.
Here comes the Jew song, man. Cover your ears.
The man who is live streaming, Narek Polyan, appears to be a persistent agitator who posts anti-Jewish tropes on his social media accounts. But at UCLA, he stood with the pro-Israel crowd.
Wow! Once again, every single example, every instance of the counter protesters who have been identified here, of course, an anti-Semitic piece of shit was with the Zionist thugs. Wow, shocked Pikachu face. Shocked Pikachu face. Man. For those who are still surprised that anti-Semites will stand with the Zionist cause, just another example, okay? Another example of someone who is actually a Jew hater, a disgusting anti-Semitic piece of shit who was with the group that proclaims to be fighting anti-Semitism? Shocking. I just Googled outside protesters, and what do you know? The media narrative has changed to outside agitators. Yeah, and let me actually be specific with my words. I'm not going to keep calling them counter protesters. These are violent agitators, violent outside agitators. They are thugs. They are thugs. I mean, truly, as far as the, wow, anti-Semites can be Zionists, Mike Johnson is who I always point to. Mike Johnson is a Christian fascist. Somebody who has promoted the Great Replacement Theory. This is one of the most powerful Republicans in Congress who has promoted an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, and yet is now a hero to liberal Zionists. The cognitive dissonance, man. Thugs, rioters, agitators, all fair things to call them that the right normally uses. Yes, we should use the language that Zionists and that right-wing media in this country uses to describe anybody on the left or anybody who's pro-Palestinian. We're going to use those same words that they use to actually accurately describe these fuckos.
I'm Kyung-Hwa from CNN. Polyan claimed to us that he has a child at UCLA, though a student didn't accompany him that night, and that he had good intentions.
I was definitely keeping the peace, okay, at least trying to.
You weren't there to make it worse?
No, of course I wasn't there to make it worse.
I hate to say it, but I was expecting us to start working on an obituary the next day. Because I thought something that serious would happen to the students in the encampment.
Is this on CNN's website? Here, I'll send you the here's the, yeah, this part's really dark. This part is really dark. This is a student, okay? This is a writer for the Daily Bruin, or not Daily Bruin. Was it the Daily Bruin? No, that's USC's. That's USC's journalism. She was at the beginning of this. This is Daily Bruin. Okay. Wait, Daily Bruin is UCLA? What's USC? Oh fuck, I just touched my eyeball. Daily Bruin's UCLA, USC's Trojan. No. What's their... Is that their journalism... Their student journalist name? Daily Trojan. Oh, duh. Okay, sorry. I just had a really dumb moment. I just had a very, very dumb moment. The UCLA are the Bruins. So that's why it's the Daily Bruins. USC are the Trojans, and it's the Daily Trojan. Okay, great. Why is this no longer loading? Come on, man. Twitter. Oh, farts.
This is the accompany him that night.
February the next day.
There's your daily.
I hate to say it, but I was expecting us to start working on an obituary the next day.
That is so fucked up. That is how bad the situation was, and that UCLA did nothing to protect those students and allowed it to happen. And they were so brutalized. It was so frightening that they thought there might be deaths. And there were cops there. Oh, there were cops there, but they were standing by. Stand back and stand by. They were standing by because that's what they do. That's what they do when there's actual violence.
Because I thought something that serious would happen to the students in the encampment.
O'Reilly Auto Parts, thank you for the prime.
Do you feel like they won?
Based on the way they were cheering when the police arrived Tuesday night, I think they might feel that they won.
USA! USA! Oh, these people are so fucking stupid. I love how everything turns into American nationalism. Like the videos from Ole Miss where there were pro-Palestinian protesters. Such a brave group of them to be doing that at Ole Miss especially. And those frat boys who then devolved into chants about USA too. Yeah. Oh.
King joins me out. It's still stunning to me that the police, I mean, there seemed to be some police around, but clearly didn't seem like police really moved in.
Of course you would be stunned, Anderson Cooper. Of course you would. Because you support the fascist state, okay? You support these fascist institutions. Of course you have. You've been running your Zionist mouth all day, all night long, and have contributed to harm. You have. So don't sit there with your stupid fucking face and be like, I just can't believe that the cops were there and they were just standing by. I just don't understand. Oh, by the way, here's some tea for you guys. When my friend was in grad school, one of my old college roommates, when she was in grad school, one of her friends who was in her program with her started dating Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper would fly him out to New York, or like on the very rare occasion would go to where their grad school was, and he was with his partner still. So he was with his partner, and I'm sure that my friend's friend was only one guy of many that he was hooking up with, and that he was like his sugar daddy, basically. How do you know, everyone? I got a lot of tea. Anyway, there's that.
Very quickly at all to stop this. You can clearly find these people. What's law enforcement saying they're going to do, or if anything?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and we actually asked them. We went to the key law enforcement agencies. We started.
Yeah, what is law enforcement going to do? There have been 2,500 student protesters arrested across this country. What about these violent thugs? Anything? Are they going to face repercussions? Is what's his fuck from Shark Tank? Who, weirdo guy murdered the boating accident. Kevin O'Leary, yes. Kevin motherfucking O'Leary Is Kevin O'Leary gonna go on mainstream media and say, "Oh yeah, these people won't be hired," or is he gonna talk about them? Is Joe Biden gonna condemn this? Mr. AI 4K 1080p. Is he gonna say we see you in AI 4K 1080p? We got you. You're in AI 4K 1080p. Being violent thugs. Yeah, 7 departments were sent to Irvine along with the county sheriff. So what are they going to do about these people? And how about also the fact that they didn't even go to the school?
With UCLA Police Department. We reached out to them via email, their office line, text messages, cell phones, and despite our numerous attempts and very specific questions.
The thing is, too, with the video evidence we have, just know that in person, it was so much worse. Like, I'm just imagining how heightened that atmosphere was and how terrifying that must have been for those students. And guess what? They stood strong. They didn't disband. They held out, knowing that no one was going to help them. Thinking that, like, these thugs might kill them. All under the watchful eye of the administration. This being authorized by the administration of their school.
We did not get any response, a clear response about their response that night or any follow-up investigation. We also reached out to the CHP and LAPD. They referred back to the UCLA Police Department. And back to your question, Anderson, I mean, we did identify not just the folks that you saw in the story, but additional people. You'll see them in that story that we'll post tomorrow morning.
Expose them all.
All right,
Anderson.
Well, thanks very much. Still ahead.
Expose them all. Oh, man. What these student protesters have stood against is such a testament to their bravery and just their solidarity, that they know, if we all stay together, we can do this. Yeah, I love, too, that Jessica Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld's wife, has tried to be like, by the way, the money that I donated, that didn't go to this. It's like, it's all the same shit, okay? It's all the same shit. It's funny, too, because her name was on the GoFundMe and then it was removed so that she could try and hide. It's like, nice try. Bill Ackman, it was the same thing. It's like, no, you're funding this. You're funding this, Jessica. So you can't walk it back. Chickens are coming home to roost. Exactly. Because guess what? You support the state of Israel, which is a thug state. The state of Israel is a terrorist state. The actions that they commit daily, by definition, is terrorism. That is what you support. Unconditionally. Fully. So yeah, this is an arm of that. This is a symptom of that. The Zionist violence is a symptom of the Zionist state of Israel. All right. Let's cover the David Copperfield stuff. Actually, quick little shout out to Nicola Coughlan. Nicola Coughlan is currently on a press tour for Bridgerton season 3. And the entire tour, she has been advocating for Palestinians. She's doing press. Her show is coming out. Like, talk about a situation where I'm sure she's being pressured to shut the fuck up. Like, no, this is just supposed to be about Bridgerton. We are doing press for Bridgerton. Please, you can do your ceasefire stuff like after. No, she has not stopped. She is a queen. She's an Irish queen. I mean, really, like, celebrities who aren't even actively promoting stuff have been silent. Nicola Coughlan is part of one of the biggest shows in existence. Season 3 coming out on Netflix. She also pushed for nude scenes for herself. She's amazing. She's like, no, I'm going to be fully nude. I want that. It's empowering. Let me be naked. Let me be nude. I want to show my titties. Yeah, she's awesome. So excited for today and to share with all of you wonderful people who've waited so long for season 3. But a huge part of my heart is with the innocent people in Rafah. If you'd like to donate or share, that would be amazing. #ceasefire now. I really wish that somebody had a connection to Nicola. She was one of the names that was thrown out in the Creators for Palestine group as like, hey, this is a really big celebrity who's been advocating for Palestinians, who's been doing fundraising. Would love to bring her in. Would love to get a talk to this queen. Iconic Ethel Cain moments, a thread. Anyway, some of you twinks need to worry less about what I'm doing and more worried about what that hairline is doing, because the biological clock isn't just for childbirth and your late 20s are coming up quick. Ooh, I felt that. This tweet has been deleted. God created man to be penetrated. I posted this with violence and the crucifixion in mind, and you hussies are talking about anal. Me when I lie. Oh my God. How am I just being introduced to the beautiful insanity that is Ethel Cain? Seriously though, I cannot stop laughing that there are celebrities who are like, I can't say anything. And Ethel Cain is out here putting herself on government watch lists. Ethel Cain is out here like, bring back presidential assassinations. Did not have a former president including my anti-war, anti-patriotism fake pop song on his year-end list on my 2022 bingo. This is when Obama included American Teenager in his year-end playlist. When she ended, Maddie Healy, Mother King, can you like copyright strike this or something, please? I'm begging. He looks like he works with his hands and smells like Marlboro Reds. Calling out Drake for mocking Meg Thee Stallion's essay. Champagne's Poppies, speak on Megan again and I will rally the Amish. Oh, God. Oh, God. Not the Amish. Crazy Cat Lady, thank you for the 3 months. When she ended Elon. Is this Ethel Cain? I keep hearing the best shit. This is Grimes. Grimes who tweeted that. This reminds me of this interaction I had with Ethel, actually. Hayden, I love you, but please turn off your phone or give me a call. I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't in your heart. Ethel Cain, crypto loves you. I fucking love her. Slut for Cairo asks, where'd your Twitter go? I deleted. The internet literally makes me miserable and I want to exist in as few places on it as possible. #ask. Looking back, I think I was normal up until I binged Glee in 10th grade. Oh my God, that's, yes, so real. That is so real. Apple Music is not very Ethel Cain coded. I use Apple Music. You will be dealt with, Ron DeSantis. Her threats are so fucking funny that she is just constantly threatening politicians. You will be dealt with. It's beyond disheartening watching Ron DeSantis destroy the little quality of life that trans kids had to begin with in my home state. just unserious. What song are you most excited for us to hear on your upcoming project? Track 1. Also ended the annoying user that is Maisie Popstar. I'm not tweeting again until Ethel Kane follows me. Bye. Ethel Kane is an industry plant. She posted this. Also ended Nepo Babies. Nepo Babies have lots of time and money, so I think that they should bring back intricate marble sculptures and paintings that take like 8 years to create. You know who she is? She's chaotic, like, she is, let me see. She's chaotic like Azalea, yes. She's chaotic like Azalea, but not in a bad way. Like, sometimes Azalea's chaotic is actually, hey, thumbs up. Okay, girl. And then a lot of times it's just, oh God, please, why are you like this? Chaotic good. Yes, she's chaotic good. Enough trying to blend in via indie music. You need to go do a residency in like Italy or something, live with an old man on a hill, make a masterpiece. You need to whittle something. It's okay if you're rich as long as you're also impressive. Dumb bitches on this website will go so far to prove that trans women are actually men. They literally will reduce women to being small, breedable 12-year-old anime girls floating in a glass jar of formaldehyde, waiting for some old man to come along and fuck them and tell them they are so teeny tiny and worth it. Bitch, you have corsair on your pussy and asshole. You're not delicate. You're a beast. You're a nasty little slug too, and having a vagina does not absolve you of that. What's with the beef? Stop trying to punch down. He's still not going to fuck you. My God. Oh, she's an icon, I fear. She is an icon, I fear. Oh my. Oh my. I love how Ethel found success and still talks like she's in the Tumblr transposting trenches. Yes! Never change, though. Please, please never change. This is someone who genuinely reached a point in their life where they got famous. It's like, oh shit, I'm actually famous now, which makes them hyper visible, but is still posting like they're not famous. And I love it. This is giving when celebrities in the early days of Twitter would post crazy shit, would post chaotic shit. They didn't worry about, they didn't worry about the optics. They didn't worry about PR. Anyway, all right, I gotta pee again, and then we're gonna cover David Copperfield, and then I'll see what time we're at. Oh, there I am. Okay. This is Current Ethel Kane news. It's also relevant streamer drama. Florida singer calls on assassins after 1 billion. Oh yeah, no, we covered the mother we need to bring back assassins. Or assassinations. All right, I got to cover this David Copperfield story. This is, of course, trigger warning. This is women who have alleged sexual misconduct against David Copperfield. And remember, David Copperfield was buddies with Jeffrey Epstein and was mentioned in the Epstein documents that had been released back in, what was it? God, I have no sense of time. Was that like 3 months ago or 6 months ago? But now there's a new report, there's a new investigation into David Copperfield's own allegation residency. I think yes, David Copperfield. He's in Vegas. Yeah, he's with MGM. Knew not to go with him. Yeah, this guy's a real piece of shit. My aunt's adoptive uncle was Shecky Green, a comedian in Vegas back in the day. He always warned my aunt to stay away from Copperfield. Yeah, that always is part of it's always part of the narrative when someone is an abuser, like when a powerful guy is an abuser and has just been allowed to run rampant for years, like Harvey Weinstein, for instance. It was always like, hey, whatever you do, don't end up in a room alone with this guy. Or like, hey, in order to protect yourself, just make sure you're not alone with this dude. Just stay away from him. H.W. Bush apologizes after he's accused of making a David Copperfield joke and groping second actress. Wait. Okay. The woman who he groped said she stood right next to him when she claims he grabbed her from behind while saying, "Do you want to know who my favorite magician is? David Copperfield." The actress said his wife, Barbara Bush, stood nearby. She said something along the lines of, "He's going to get himself put into jail." This is the second set of allegations against the Bush patriarch.
And Michael.
So many just shitty, powerful men, man. Too many to count. I feel like the thinking behind that too, why David would do that, is because, or why people would not think that he was doing anything wrong, is because why would someone do that in front of a whole audience of people? Men who are sexually abusive, who are guilty of sexual misconduct, etc., they do that in private. Like they wouldn't be so bold, so stupid to do it in front of so many witnesses. So like, of course it's not inappropriate because there's all these people who are watching it. Girls aren't going to leave. Of course not. No. The pressure of being on stage, of not wanting to disrupt, of not wanting to make a big deal out of something, and of the fact that they're so young. Of course, no, they're going to stay there and he's going to be able to do that. Lawyers for David Copperfield denied all the allegations of misconduct. There's no evidence the magician knew their exact ages when they say they met him. Copperfield's lawyers said he has never, ever acted inappropriately with anyone, let alone anyone underage. Trick involves any unlawful touching as alleged. This trick has been performed in front of tens of millions of people over many years, with tens of thousands of audience members on stage. See? Not to mention cameras and security at all angles, without any complaint ever being made. When you do it in plain sight, then it's not a crime. That's exactly what that That's exactly what that thinking is there. Regarding Olivia, lawyers for Copperfield denied the allegation and said the idea that he would violate someone in this fashion is patently absurd. Yeah, that's the argument. Why would he violate these girls in front of all these people? He's been doing this show for years. Like, tens of thousands of audience members have been on stage. Like, come on. Birds of a feather flock together. David Copperfield, buddies with Jeffrey Epstein. Is this the first time that Copperfield, let's see, 16 women shared misconduct allegations, saying that several saying the incidents occurred when they were under 18. The allegations from 16 women span 4 decades, from the 1980s to 2014. Over half of those women said they were under, you know who he was palling around with during that time? Jeffrey Epstein. Over half of these women say they were under 18 at the time of the alleged incidents, with 2 youngest victims claiming they were 15 at the time. One of those 15-year-olds said Copperfield groomed her for more than 2 years after he gave her his phone number following a 1991 show. The magician allegedly called her at home often and sent her cards and gifts, including one Carla received when she was 16 that said, "In 2 years, I will be back." Oh my God. Copperfield was the first person Carla had sex with after she turned 18, she said. A year prior, Carla alleged an encounter in his limousine, during which she said the magician kissed and pushed her head towards his crotch. Carla said she believed Copperfield thought she had turned 18 already. I was not forced, but I remember feeling awkward as I'd never done that before. Again, we have these conversations all the time when discussing these types of allegations where sexual misconduct, sexual abuse is not something that often victims realize in the moment, but there are so many factors: power imbalance, age, economics. There are just so many things that contribute to there being a lack of true consent. And the fact that he is fully an adult and doing this with teenagers, just like when we talked about Dan Schneider yesterday. It's like the age of consent existing doesn't mean that when someone is of legal age and has engaged in sexual activity with an adult, somebody who's 10, 20, 30, whatever years older than them, means that it is appropriate or okay. Those are only the people that reached out or who they could track down and are willing to speak. I cannot imagine how many more there are. Yeah, I know. She added, "I was a young schoolgirl infatuated with a man who was famous, and I think he used that to benefit him. Why would he continue to reach out to me through those years if he wasn't planning on pouncing as soon as I turned 18? Copperfield's lawyers denied all the allegations against him as false and entirely without foundation, adding that he'd never ever acted inappropriately with anyone, let alone anyone underage. Specifically regarding Carla, they denied the grooming claim and called the pair's relationship consensual. Furthermore, the magician's lawyer accused The Guardian of running a hit piece filled with allegations that are utterly unsupported by any proper evidence. They also noted that numerous false claims had been leveled against Copperfield before, none of which had been proven. They said such behavior is the opposite of everything Copperfield stands for and works hard for. Many of Copperfield's victims said they met the magician at his shows. Several former employees recalled the magician asking assistants to find attractive young women in the crowds and asked them to either participate in the shows or meet Copperfield afterwards. One former assistant said she quit because of Copperfield's behavior towards women and teenage girls. Another said she started asking women in the crowd their ages, and if they were under 18, she told them to go back to their families. Along with a denial from Copperfield's lawyers, other former employees, including an executive assistant and his ex-security manager, said they never saw anything unusual or inappropriate. 4 women who did join Copperfield on stage all said that during the performance, the magician either made them touch him in inappropriate ways or groped them. One woman, Lily, said Copperfield touched her breasts on stage when she was 15, an incident that her father and sister said they remembered witnessing in the crowd. Another woman, Olivia, said she was 17 when Copperfield touched her, quote, between the anus and vagina over her clothes while leading her to the stage. She compared it to a sleight of hand trick. Jillian said that she was in her 20s when Copperfield picked her to join him on stage for a trick in the early 90s. Afterwards, as she and a friend waited in line for an autograph, one of the magician's assistants allegedly asked them if they wanted to join Copperfield for a drink later. Jillian said that they later arrived in Copperfield's private suite at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, where they were handed a glass of sambuca. Jillian said she began to feel weird, physically weird, after one drink, and after that, everything was just fuzzy. I literally blacked out for a while, and I don't do that. Jillian said she recalled patches between blacking out, including memories of Copperfield having sex with her and her friend. Jillian said she believed neither she nor her friend had been able to consent. I'm 56 years old now, Jillian said. Never in my life have I had a time where I don't consciously remember a period of time. I would never just say this to somebody if I didn't truly, honest to God, believe that I was drugged at that time. Why'd I think Copperfield was dead? Wishful thinking. An example of how consent can't justify something is that a kidnapper may get a kid to enter his white van by luring them with kidnapping, but that doesn't suddenly make the kidnapping okay. True. Yeah. It's like, oh, this child came with me. Well, okay, that's not gonna hold up. I thought he died like 20 years ago. Why do so many of you think that David Copperfield had died? Truly just wishful thinking. But yeah, this is once again a guy who was in Jeffrey Epstein's circle. This isn't surprising at all. I don't pay attention to magic, so I've really never kept up with David Copperfield. I know who he is, of course. I read the statements in the Epstein documents, and I'm really not surprised based on that, but also just the fact that this is something that happens all the time with powerful men. They use their power to sexually exploit young women and girls. This just happens all the time. All magicians seem kind of creepy to me. There is one magician who I've watched before. He's an Asian guy. I can't remember his name. He seemed cool. He seemed okay. Anyway, I want to end with something good because I need to end so I can pack and get Farley's things ready because we're gonna drive to Vegas in just a little bit. So don't really want to end on a David Copperfield is a piece of shit abuser. Before I peace out to Vegas for the weekend. I'm going to EDC. Should we just watch an episode of Young Sheldon? Young Sheldon is a spinoff following the marriage and baby. Please, God, no. Yeah, I need a palate cleanser. Wait, somebody sent me the other day. They were like, oh fuck, I can't remember. I shouldn't have showed all those videos that I should at the beginning. I should have held on to one. Are we camping? No, I do not camp. I do not camp. No, I don't have time to watch a full episode of Iron Chef. Let me check my YouTube videos and see what we got. Let's see. Oh, a video about debating the N-word. That's really fun. Let's see if I have any funny short videos to end on. Is it Hassan? Yeah, I just clicked on YouTube. It's not saved in my playlist, but on the YouTube homepage that popped up. And I was like, wow. Have you seen this British child? Nope. Let me look. Let me look at this British child.
Selling just 2 ice creams with 2 chewing gums in it.
Yeah.
For bloody £9.
She's so
for 2 of
British.
them.
£9 for 2.
Yeah, £9. That is gonna get nowhere. The one that comes on my street is either £1 a p or £2. That is gonna get nowhere with that.
No, he ain't, is it?
No, he ain't.
She's so
well,
British.
No.
You're gonna get nowhere with
just
that.
bloody card. Stood there with my cash. Bloody hell.
That's well bad, isn't it?
Bloody well bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Betty can hear me.
What are they saying? What is she saying at the end?
That's well bad, isn't it?
Bloody well bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Betty can hear me.
What are those words? Bloody hell, Betty can... Oh, bet he can hear me. Betty can hear me. Betty can hear me.
Flour here. Yes, soda from the floor.
I have some comments given by the challenger before the battle.
Is this
talking
from
about the
Iron
show. He said
Chef?
it's very unique, and as a chef, I was interested in this show. I think I'm going to have fun.
And a lot of early action on his side. Yes.
We've just received word that Challenger Wong will be using the board for making his own noodles.
All right. Whoa, that was with the flour. Great. Could very well be.
Fukusan?
Yes.
Regarding these thin layers of egg,
Is
we're
this
getting
a compilation of Fukuya-san's?
hints that lead us to believe that he may be making shellmai with these as the skins or the wraps.
Yeah, wow.
Fukusan?
Yes.
As you just
Fukuya-san.
said, the ingredients in the Iron Chef's bowl are eggs, sea urchin roe, and not just plain flour, but ukiko flour.
Always a
Fukusan,
pleasure.
Go. Yeah, I asked Challenger Osada what he thinks about the quality of the lobsters today, and his response was, wow, this is much better than the normal stuff you get. This is going to be awesome.
All right.
Fukusan,
Go.
This is the most important part of Iron Chef anyway.
This one here?
Yes.
Yeah, it has sugar, water, ketchup, Worcester sauce, vinegar, and red food coloring in it.
Okay, well, you're right.
And
Yeah,
Fukusan.
pasta, the pasta
Yes,
man coming.
this will be pasta dough. There's semolina flour, eggs, and olive oil in this.
All right. But normal for pork. Go
Fukuya-san.
ahead.
Yeah, now I see on the Challenger side that they're preparing some pineapple over here.
Here he goes.
Okay, yeah, this is it.
Fukusan,
Our
Fukusan,
here, his
Fukusan,
side. Yes,
Fukusan,
got to-
Fukusan, Fukusan, Fukusan,
Yeah.
Fukusan, Fukusan.
I'm glad this is something that other people who have watched Iron Chef throughout the years have taken note of. All the different Fukuya-sans. All the Fukuya-sans throughout the Iron Chef years. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave us there. I'll send you guys over to Cutie Cinderella. Have a good weekend. I will see you guys Monday or Tuesday, depending on how I'm feeling. Can't say for sure yet, but Monday or Tuesday. So for sure, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm out of commission. Degenerate Dingo, thank you for the 4 months. Be safe and enjoy. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. Of course not. There's only 1,800 people in here, so 1,800 people. What the things I wouldn't do? So really, probably a small list. Be gay and do crime. All right. I'm excited to have this little mentee bee break. My body is not ready, but my mind is ready for EDC. I miss you guys already. Be well. Go do something this weekend. Go do something this weekend since I won't be streaming. Go do something for yourselves or just take a walk or something, okay? Go out into the world if you can. If you can. Bye.